And go.
All right. Now that I immediately messed up the music that we picked and had to find it real fast on the fly, I think we're off to a great start. Um, anyway, so this is episode or session 14 of Mateia. And just like with episode 13, where we had two of our players play newer characters, this is the other half of our party who will be introing and playing their secondary characters. Um, that we're going to be using for this mini campaign within a campaign for some campaignception. So as far as like outline and when these characters take place in reference to the main story, um, these characters and their adventures start a few weeks before the beginning of the first session of Mateia Prime, because that's what I'm going to call it now. So everything that you have seen as players and your other characters has yet to even occur because this happens a couple of weeks before that all starts. But um, Volin and Leaf, you guys find yourself at the behest of the Underground Research Guild that you two have been working for a few months now, called the Arcane Inquisitors. The two of you have been traveling together, trying to find a cure for your son's disease, Volin, and gain information on who attacked your hometown, Leaf, while at the same time trying to find hidden knowledge regarding powers that are beginning to manifest throughout the continent, that are sure to find their way to Moreau, that the Arcane Inquisitors want to try to get a handle on before, you know, somebody else does. The organization is effectively not super well known in above ground circles. A lot of the information and the jobs and the requests and the artifacts that they procure, they don't always get in the most legal of ways. And they are, like I said, a underground kind of black market research society that tries to keep their behavior in the shadows. So, Volin, go ahead and describe your character for me.
Yes. Volan Adioth is a high elf wizard blood hunter. Um, White hair, green eyes, typical high elf. 6'2". He is of the size medium category. Um, and yeah, he's looking for the cure to his son's unknown illness. Um, yes, of the size medium category. He's also, good old. He's middle age for a high elf. 436. Um, yeah.
All right. And your constant traveling companion for the past couple of months, the much younger Leaf. Go ahead and describe yourself.
So Leaf is a albino furbolg. She's very young. She's maybe between like 10 and 11. Um, she's 4'9". She's about 62 pounds, so she's on the thinner side. And she is a cleric by trade. Her hometown was destroyed, completely obliterated while she was gone seeking, selling herbs and seeking supplies for her hometown. and she found her way back just to find it completely obliterated for a town that was known for peace, known for being excellent healers, and always trying to maintain a neutral ground for those who just purely needed help. Um, it was devastating for her to see the loss of her village, and she basically uh Valen found her living amongst the rubble, just trying to continue her onto her family's work and keeping the legacy going of being, the helpful Furbolg tribe of one. But being a child, she can only survive for so long by herself.
And you're not kidding. I looked up the ages of both of our races. You are literally a child. It's not like goblins where you become an adult at 7.
Oh,
You're
she is
literally a child.
she is a literal child on the thinner side because she's been nurturing herself as best she can, but she has not reported to any of the surrounding villages that her villages are dead, because her her ideals is to make sure that everybody else is taken care of and safe before she takes care of herself.
That's fair. You need to find yourself a druid friend to keep you alive and just feed you good berries every day.
Nah, man, I'm an elf. I can give her some of that lembas bread.
Lemdas, not PEMDAS, not math bread.
Not math bread. No math bread for you.
Don't you bring more math into my math game.
We only deal with math rocks here, not math bread, sir.
Exactly. But anyway,
Unless we're at Strixhaven.
right. You guys find yourself on this current job that you have been given, this current request that was handed to the two of you. They need it done quietly, they need it done quickly, and without a lot of people knowing. You find yourselves arriving on a small coastal island to the north of the capital city of Moreau in the Swiftwoodnese Empire, a couple hours out to sea. Just after dusk is when you arrive. The island itself is bare bones, with a small amount of plant life. You got some trees, small amount of shrubbery, and etc. But a general plethora of fish and other aquatic creatures are living around this, since it is an island. And on this island, the reason you were sent, there is a lighthouse, and you were sent to investigate the lighthouse for the premise that there is, rumor has it that there is some type of underground structure somewhere on this island, and it's likely that the lighthouse holds the key on how to get in there. But the Arcane Inquisitors, those who sent you, want you to find out what it is, what's going on there, and find and bring any pertinent information back with you to them. They did tell you that after you arrive, the boat will only stay offshore for about a day before it comes back, as the weather is known to drastically shift out towards this island, which is why there is a lighthouse there, as it is quite stormy, and it's really hard to navigate these part of the waters about 80% of the time. So you've kind of been dropped off, and as you look out, you see about a quarter mile offshore, there is the boat that you came in on, and your rowboat is tied up to the dock beside you. So this is where you find yourself.
Leaf is like clutching to Valen's jacket. She's not really too sure what's going on. It's kind of dark, and she's just kind of like very unsure about everything that's going on. But the one guy that's shown her kindness and basically drug her away from the village, like she's never left his side. She stands outside of the door while he's using the bathroom. Like she is that attached. She's like, okay, if you're gonna take me away from my home, I'm not leaving you. Like literally.
And speaking of darkness, if it's needed, I do have dark vision.
Yep, I added it to your sheet. It's just with the level of light that is here right now, it should look a little dimmer, because it is dusky. But there's enough light where the sun is still in that like sunsetting position where you can still see everything. It's just not quite as bright as it was, and you can see that it's actively starting to get darker as the sun does set.
Okay. I as a furball, I do not have I do not have dark vision. So when it does get to the darkness mode, please let me know because she will need to turn on light.
Okay. What I'll do is I will just go ahead and put that on your token now, and then you'll know because everything around you will all of a sudden be
Be dark.
be not that dark anymore.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And it's
My old.
it's the light spell, correct?
It is, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna see if this doesn't break and mess everything up.
I bet it will.
Probably.
Boop.
Nope.
Everything's a little bit brighter.
There you go. So it'll change to be your light once you get to a dark space. But yeah, you see the island up the right up here, or you see the lighthouse up the island up this cliff edge. You could climb this cliff if you want to, but you also see there's a couple of paths you can walk because this itself is probably a solid 80 feet cliff up. So, but yeah, you guys have this island.
We have an island. We own the island. This is our island.
Our island.
Fair.
Huzzah.
Fair.
Well, as I have a child clutching to me. Leaf, I am your father.
No.
Kind of.
Look, I just look down at you, little leaf, and kind of hold you closer and begin taking a few steps forward and to walk the path as I say, "Come, little leaf, we have some exploring to do."
Okay.
And down the path we go.
All right. As you make your way down the path, the weather right now is quite nice. You hear the waves kind of sloshing up on shore and against the rocks. You get a nice little salty ocean breeze kind of blowing through your hair and filling your nostrils with that ocean spray and ocean salt. And you kind of walk your way through this island, and it's pretty abandoned. You don't There's no campsites here. It doesn't seem like there has been anyone that stayed here before, at least recently. It's a very nice kind of peaceful, serene place, and you see atop the island or top of the lighthouse, you see a giant purple gem, which you know to be what the light comes from. As it gets darker, you start to see the light itself appear, as it is doing the lighthouse spinny thing where
Okay, so it's currently spinning. It's active.
yeah, it's active. You see the light's starting to get a little bit brighter as it gets a little bit darker. You see that purple light kind of start to make its way
Is
through
this seeing as it's a crystal and not an actual light, is this a unmanned or manned lighthouse? Like someone live here? Do we know that?
the air. You do not know.
Okay, we're gonna go in this lighthouse. We're gonna cut down Jim, the lighthouse keeper, and explore his dark secrets.
Of course. All lighthouse workers have dark secrets.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, have you seen the movie Lighthouse?
The lighthouse illuminates all.
Fair.
Pretty sure Robert Pattinson kills Willem Dafoe in that movie, and because of like a mermaid love affair. It's a weird movie.
That is quite the movie. We talk about a lot
As
of weird things mid game.
as we get to the stairs, Leaf will kind of tug on Volan's jacket to get his attention down. Have you ever been here?
Neither of you have ever been here.
I have not.
Oh. Do you know of this place?
Do I know of this place?
Yeah, I mean the lighthouse isn't a uncommon thing. Like this is one of the major ways that incoming ship and trade routes come into Moreau. This is like if anyone who comes at night, any ship goer, any sailor, any black market dealer would know that this lighthouse is here. It is a beacon of basically ocean traffic for the city at nighttime and in storms. So you both know you've just never had a reason to come here before. So this lighthouse isn't like super fancy. It's not like a pillar of anything, but it's just there are many throughout the world. This is just the one that's north of Moreau that you both know has been here for a long time.
Well, I would explain that and do my best to explain that, in a quote unquote fatherly manner.
Her silver blue eyes just get really big and sparkly as you explain it, because she's probably not had this much detail about it before. If she's heard of it, it's been like in passing. So the more you explain to her, you get that childlike wonder of new knowledge like spreads across her face, and she just stares up at you, just big old sparkly eyes.
As you approach and get a better view of the lighthouse, you see that it is a solid 35, 40 feet tall from bottom to top. You see that it does get a little narrower as it gets towards it's the top of it. Not too narrow, but it's getting a little bit narrower to hold itself up. And the outside is, instead of the standard white that you've seen on pictures of lighthouses and other lighthouses in the world, this one seems to be made of almost this bronze coloration. Um, and as you kind of look on the ocean side of it, kind of over here, you see that there are lots of different mosses and like mussels and ocean-based plant life that have been thrown up against the outside lighthouse during storms or during very high tide, and they've kind of grown accustomed to living on the side of the lighthouse. And you see that it's almost like a barrier reef, but it climbs halfway up the lighthouse and it's in different colors, especially when the sunset hits it. You see the reddish, goldenish hues of the sunlight kind of hit all of these different reef, essentially, and mussels and clams and things living on the side of this lighthouse, changing its colors as the sun kind of sets down.
Ooh, pretty. And she'll point out all of that, like one hand like super glued to your jacket, the other hand pointing up.
A little pat on the head.
You just, as she's staring up, as you pat her on the head, you just hear like a tiny little giggle, but she just continues to stare up in just awe and like pointing at it.
As that happens, I kind of, I tug on your arm a little bit and point more towards the lighthouse and say, "Come now, little leaf. Let's see if anybody is home."
Okay. Oop!
Oh,
Step on you.
okay. I'm the tall one here. Walk up and give a little knock on the door.
And I will stand behind him. Bloop.
As you walk up and knock on the door, nobody answers. You wait a couple of minutes, and you don't hear any shuffling. Nobody calls out. But as you try the door handle, the door itself is not locked. The door can just kind of swing, and you can push it right on open and walk in if you so choose.
I am getting Cthulhu vibes from all of this. Let that be known.
There's a small tug as your hand goes to the handle. There's a small tug on your jacket.
I look back.
Be careful. And I cast guidance on you.
Twice, apparently.
Dice double cast guidance.
Super guided.
Super guided. And then she kind of like ducks behind you and like peeks underneath your arm as you're gonna go to open the door because she wants to see what's in there, but she does not want to be the first to go.
No, my music died. I have to refresh.
I know. I've also lost music on.
Oh no, it just didn't recast itself. Oh, that's the wrong one.
It didn't
Hold on.
recast
Recast
itself.
itself.
Yeah, you know. Down by the sea and play. That's because I forgot to hit repeat. That's my fault.
Oh, that makes sense. I blame you.
It is exactly my fault.
Cast your magic.
So I have guidance. I will open the door.
All right. As you open the door, let me see if I can make this work. You see the inside of the lighthouse. You can walk in. You see, this is more of like a storage floor. There are bunches of crates. There is what looks to be some sort of like coat rack and whatnot over here. The ground is um, dusty, but it looks like the base is made with marble or granite of some sort. It looks like it's very sturdily built, and you do see there is a staircase that leads higher up into the lighthouse.
Hmm. Before we walk in, I look down at Leaf, and I kind of kneel down to get on your level,
Mhm.
and I kind of put my arms on your shoulders and say, "Stay careful, stay vigilant, and keep your eyes open."
Mhm. And she like gives you a very like focus. Her like little eyes narrow, like she's like focus, like that little kid focus look, and gives you like a firm nod.
I then stand up and take some steps inside.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys walk inside, you see what I've described. Some crates. The floor still looks like it's in pretty good shape. The inside of this lighthouse doesn't seem to be, the walls don't seem to be decorated, at least on this floor, with any type of art or anything like that. And there are no windows on this floor. The bottom floor is the darkest of the three. You can
Jesus!
you can look up and you can see that there is the glow from the magical light kind of permeates down through the entirety of the lighthouse. It's just the darkest down here. You can still see, but you realize that there are no windows down here for the sheer purpose of if there is a large storm and rocks or driftwood or anything comes smashing into the lighthouse, or even if it floods, they wouldn't want the lighthouse itself to flood. So not having windows on at least this floor makes a lot of sense from a safety perspective.
Well,
Mhm.
combating with the passive perception of 20, does it look like? Because my first thought was to, does it look like anything been in here has been disturbed? Any boxes moved? Anything, anything disturbed?
No,
Being as it's probably really quiet and we were careful as we enter in, I would assume. Do I hear any noises from upstairs on the second level with my passive perception of 20?
you hear a constant humming, and every 5 or 6 seconds you hear like a warble in the hum. And as you kind of watch the light kind of get brighter and dimmer, you kind of put two and two together that the hum is the light crystal itself continuously moving, and the hum that you hear is when the light itself passes behind the one quadrant of shade that the lighthouse has to have so they can make that beam. Um, it just kind of dulls the magic for a second, and then it reignites itself. So it's like, whoop, whoop. And I can't do warble hums,
Okay, Elvis.
but you know, those warbly hums. You hear warble
Gotcha.
hums from above you.
Gotcha. Okay.
And these are crates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they look locked?
No, they just look like crates.
I would like to carefully open one.
Okay. You open these crates, and inside of them, there's nothing that's super useful. That seems to be timber, and tools to repair things with. I'm looking through this and looking through a couple of the other crates. It looks like what these are large um, repair kits to maintain the upkeep of the lighthouse. So if anything was to break, you can use these to fix it. You also see um, in this one, and that crate's actually a little bigger than it shows on there. It's actually 2 squares. There is a replacement crystal that you know that you could probably use to fix the crystal at the top of this lighthouse if it was to break for any reason.
Got it. And what are we here for again?
You were told there was some type of underground structure on this island. At least that's what the rumor said. And they sent you to investigate.
Underground structure. Got it. Um, I will close the crates, walk to the stairs, and kind of take a few steps up. And as I begin on the few steps, I look behind me and say, "Come, little leaf, we are heading upstairs."
Okay.
All right, as you make your way up the stairs,
Oh my goodness.
you guys
Stairs is.
you guys find yourself making your way to the second story of this lighthouse. And as you make your way out onto the main level of this, it looks like on this level, what you see over here, this is a window. It's not a door. I know it's kind of set up like one, but this is a single window that looks out onto the island. The way that you guys walked to the lighthouse door, you see another set of stairs continuing the spiral up to the top floor, which now the humming and the warbling of the crystal is louder. The light's a little bit brighter. It's almost like a white noise. You would imagine if you were to sleep here, that would almost just lull you to sleep. Um, but this is a table. This itself is like a bed and a cot. There's some kitchen utensils floating around in here, like a small kitchenette. And over here, there is like a desk with a chair. So
Does anything does it look used? Does it look like anything in here has been used in recent time?
Yeah, that was gonna be my question too.
yeah, so the kitchen doesn't look like it's been used. You see on the table there is enough. There's a plate, a bowl, some silverware, and a cup, and some other like standard single-person kitchen stuff kind of set up. But they're gathering some dust, so they haven't been used in a while. And you kind of look around the kitchen a little bit, the kitchen area. There is basically enough for one person to be able to cook for themselves and survive here pretty easily. Um, the bed looks like it's disheveled, but doesn't look like it was recently disheveled. It looks like it's been that way for a while. And on the desk, you see that there are a couple of different notebooks and a couple quills laying out um, with an inkwell beside it. Everything in this floor looks to be very, very organized, except for the disheveling of the bed. And you would imagine that this person likes to sleep in comfort, but doesn't necessarily care how their bed looks because everything else in their life is organized, so their bed can be a mess. So
fair.
everybody's got that one thing that they just don't care to keep organized, and whoever this person is, this is that one thing. Plus, they seemingly live by themselves, so you know.
Leaf would make her way to the desk
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I was wondering.
peer at the
No,
journal.
no. While that's happening, is there food in the kitchen area?
There is food. There are some dried rations. There are some nuts. It looks like there is a few flagons of water and some juice, which is kind of fermented into wine at this point, but nothing that's super fresh and nothing
Alright,
that is
well,
rotting. So.
since I'm sure it's been a long boat ride, while Leaf's checking out the journal, I will whip up some elven trail mix and a cup of water for Leaf.
It was only like a 3-hour boat ride, a 3-hour
Well, you know.
tour, if you will. Yeah, you can make her some elfin Chex Mix trail mix. Go ahead and roll me either a nature or a survival check just to see how good this mix is.
Well, both of them are going to come out advantage because, blood hunter stuff. So.
Well, they're not.
Oh, I can actually select a normal roll now.
You
Oh my
can,
god, it
yeah.
doesn't automatically do it at advantage. Holy crap!
Nope, it does not.
That's dope.
And you have guidance too.
Yeah, there you go.
And guidance. What is guidance? A D4?
D4.
D4. Posted twice.
So
Please read.
16. So your guidance is gone, but with what you have, you make some really good trail mix. It's a little saltier
best
than
cup
normal.
of water.
Yeah, right. It's a little saltier than normal because the saltwater air just kind of permeates. You can smell it in here still because it comes from above and through this window when it's open. So it's kind of made its way into all the flavors in this house, Horse Lighthouse.
Well, I'm doing that and setting up a spot at the table while Leaf is checking out the journal.
Okay. Yeah, so looking at the journal, you see one of them is empty. It looks to be a like a second journal. As you kind of finger through the first one, it's almost full, so it looks like they're just having a second one there ready to start working in once they fill up this one. And it talks more about their day to day of just passing time in the lighthouse, how the days aren't exciting. Um, a person can only look at the ocean for so long before they start to wonder what life is like out on the open sea. They have no interest in going back to Moreau, even though Moreau is who employs them and who sends them goods on a monthly basis, their rations for the month and their money for the month. Um, they talk about how they one day want to leave this lighthouse and go exploring for themselves. And then, as you kind of read through the journal a little bit more, the writings become less frequent but more erratic and less happy as you read them. It kind of talks about how this person is getting lonelier and lonelier, and they thought that they could live this life of solitude um, in the lighthouse without any repercussions, um, and live out here, live their days out here, just happily passing the time, watching the ocean, feeling the ocean spray on their face, maintaining this lighthouse, painting, drawing, reading, and just aging slowly. And then you see that they talk about how they are getting hungrier, and no food that they have seems to satiate that hunger. And so they've just stopped eating altogether. Um, and that they are getting thinner and weaker. Um, but the ocean is calling to them more, and that they want to go and see what it has to offer. And that they, every now and again, when the time is right, the windows open, and the moonlight crests over the waves at just the right time of night. They hear almost a singing on the breeze. And one day they're going to go and see what it's about, and they're going to investigate. And then you see kind of a few blank pages with just scribbles on them. No writing, just weird drawings of things that don't necessarily make sense. You see, they tried to shade it in the best they could, and it's this weird, very skeletal, very long-limbed and strange-looking white-skinned creature who they have very sunken features. Their eye sockets are like this deep black, and they have this thin, gangly hair kind of growing off of their skull. And they go on to describe that this is what they feel like since they haven't eaten in so long. This is how they see themselves. Because you've noticed as you've walked through this lighthouse, there are no mirrors. There are no reflective surfaces other than the ocean itself, which is inherently not reflective. There's nothing that you would be able to see how you look other than your subconscious view of yourself. So this person's drawing what they feel they look like now. And as you look at this person seems to be devoid of happiness and hope, and they seem like they look like they haven't eaten in a very long time. And then you come to the last page that has writing on it in this journal, and it says, "Tonight's the night. I hear the song on the wind. I'm going to go and see for myself." And that's the last entry in the journal.
Is it dated?
It is dated 2 weeks prior to today. And I don't have a calendar set up, so 2 weeks before right now.
Okay, got it. Um, uh, Leaf's fingers just kind of like dance along the pages, and her eyes get really sad, and her ears kind of droop, and she just very softly mutters to the pages. She says, I understand what it's like to be lonely. And she will turn around and start kind of walking away from the journal and just kind of explain to um Valen what she found. And then there was this creepy, tall thing. It was super thin, really long, scraggly hair. Uh, yeah. The person seems very sad.
Is there a chair at this table, or is this chair?
There is a chair there, yes, and there's also a chair at the desk. So there's effectively two chairs. This one looks to be more like a stool, like a backless stool, and there at the table there's an actual like smaller wooden like backed chair.
Got it. I will, at hearing this, I will grab the chair, kind of pull it around, uh, and say, I'll give this journal a look over. For now, little Leaf, you have yourself a snack. And I will sit you at the table
Blump.
and walk over to the desk to read the journal, see if I can uncover anything.
Can I ritual cast a spell while he's doing that?
Sure, you can pretend you're eating a snack, but shoving your face full of trail mix and casting a spell at the same time. That's a hilarious image to me. Just plop, 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 trying to cast spells while chomping on trail mix. Yeah, sure. What spell are you trying to cast?
I'm gonna cast this. Dang it! Double posting
Very
What
everywhere.
is
nice.
going on with your...
Rary's telepathic bond. Okay, so you're gonna create a telepathic bond after 10 minutes between you guys.
Yep.
All right, cool. Um, and Valen, as you look at this journal, there's actually roll an Arcana check.
Roll an Arcana? I'd love to do so.
So, looking at the journal, the ink itself doesn't really read magical, nor does the paper. But looking at the whole journal, it puts off this like strange magical essence. And you kind of
Looking at the table?
at the journal. The
Oh,
journal
okay.
itself, not like the ink or the pages, none of them independently have like this aura of magic that's emanating from them, but you feel like a general magical essence coming from like almost the binding of the book itself. Not much. It's a very very light kind of thing. You just barely notice it. And as you kind of look around and you're kind of trying to figure out what might be causing this magical essence from this journal, you pick up on the same type of magical aura coming from above you, a little bit stronger. Kind of like the floor above you, not like directly above your face.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, I mean, obviously, I plan to go upstairs, but I look up at the ceiling. Does anything look off with the ceiling?
You see above you, and now you notice kind of under the table too, there is a small hole about the size of like a bucket, and you can see just the light from the crystal kind of flowing down, and that's kind of how the light has made its way down through the different floors of this lighthouse. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything else strange about the roof. It's just a normal lighthouse roof. It's got the wooden beams across it. It looks like it's pretty well built, bar that intentionally made hole in there, and it looks like he put the table over the hole on the second floor just so whoever was here wouldn't fall down that hole.
Okay. Do I recognize the creature that's drawn out?
It looks. Roll a history check, actually.
I can do that.
It looks like a just very skeletal humanoid who has been living through like poverty and famine and no food and nothing to help bolster their own health. Looks like a very sickly person. So, but no, you don't recognize them in particular.
So nothing to do with Fey Fiends or Undead. guess I probably should have asked that beforehand.
No.
Okay. I would like to then, while Leaf is still munching, I'd like to investigate the bed, see if there's. I know it's disheveled, but I'd like to maybe check if there's anything off with its positioning, anything under the bed, anything around it.
No, it just looks like a disheveled, messy bed.
Okay.
It's kind of smelly. Looks like the sheets probably haven't been washed in a little bit, but just
I would
stinky.
like to use my ring of truth telling on the DM.
They pooped the bed and didn't clean it. Yes, there's a couple. It's like a reusable cloth that they use as a napkin on the table.
Hmm. I'm reading through my class features, like anything like from here is gonna do anything for me. Well, I don't need to sleep, guys. That's gonna be good for us right now.
Elves don't need to sleep.
Mm.
I mean, you do for 4 hours.
Oh, I need to meditate for 4 hours.
Say friend to the person he might be hungry. That's very sweet.
Boy, I'm sure this is a complete different character dynamic from the last two.
hmm What you want to do?
I, after investigating the bed,
Mhm.
will kind of get up and begin walking toward these other set of stairs going up and say, "Come, little leaf, one more floor."
Leaf will chug the water that's left and put it down and put her tiny little bag of trail mix inside her backpack and then scurry along after him.
You have the aftertaste of salt in your mouth because that water was a little salty from being seawater. Not like enough seawater that it's gonna dehydrate you and poison you or anything, but it just tastes a little bit like salt. So,
Okay.
Cure poison.
as you guys make your way up to the third floor of this lighthouse, you see the purple crystal is humming and hawing and rotating loudly, and very, very bright purple up here. And you feel that
Ooh.
magical essence from the.
Lava whale.
Now you know it to be from the crystal.
Hmm. And we have an entire outer view, like we're at the top.
Yeah, yeah. Some of it's like there's a covering over top of it, like there's a roof covering, and you see that
Like a lighthouse.
yeah, like a lighthouse. You can like reach out and throw stuff out, but it's trying to be protected from the weather the best it can, and obviously so that things just don't, try to destroy this. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, you can
I
see it.
know, I know how the map looks, but if we're picturing as like an actual lighthouse but magical,
hmm
um, which is what I'm picturing it as, like an actual lighthouse.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Magical.
Yep.
Yeah. Does it have the awning, like the outer walkway that lighthouses have? You know how like there's a door to get into the light? Does it have that outer walkway?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. It has that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a magical outer walkway, exactly.
Yeah, it has that.
Well, I would like to walk onto this outer magical walkway
Okay.
and get a lay of the land looking around. While we were on the boat, we were coming close to the island. We could only see the way we're coming. I'd like to kind of walk around the outer magical walkway and just get a lay of the land, see if there's anything I can see maybe off the back of the island or the side of the island.
Yeah. So as you kind of walk around the magical outer walkway,
I'll let
um,
Leaf be mesmerized by the light a little bit.
yes, there you see obviously the big boat that your travel boat that you came in about a quarter mile off the shore. You see your rowboat that you tied up to the dock down below. You see the entirety of the island, which is not that big. And as you look out, you can see Moreau off in the distance from the direction that you came from to the south. As you kind of walk and follow the other cardinal directions, you can see, for the majority of it, you can see, like, if you look east and west of Moreau, you can see the land kind of goes from being the big city to um, more of just that natural looking landscape that isn't quite as metropolitan. And as you kind of work more towards the northern side, more towards the ocean side of things, you see that it's just the deep, dark, ever dark ocean out there. At this point, the sun has gone down, and so you're kind of seeing the very last kind of sun rays just crest over the what's it called that you can see in the distance, the horizon in the distance out into the ocean, and it's very pretty. With this backdrop of purple light behind you, you can see the reds and golds and oranges of the sunset cresting over that horizon, and you get to watch the sunset, but it's just the ever dark ocean out as far as you can see. There are rocks and maybe an archipelago out there. You can't quite tell because of some of the shadows that are being thrown up, but you don't see any land out in the ocean. You just see open
On
water.
as I'm walking the circle, I'm looking at the island.
Hmm.
On the back of the island and the edge of the island that we didn't come from, that we couldn't see when we were on the boat.
Hmm.
Does it look like um there are any? I know this is a very specific question. Does it look like there are any indentations at the basin, the base of the island that maybe look like it would possibly be the entrance to an underwater cave?
From here, no.
Okay.
It doesn't look like everything on that you can see on the island that you've seen from walking up and from looking out the window and from looking off this outer walkway. It just looks like a very naturally like created island that somebody built a lighthouse on top of. But as you're actively looking for that, um, go ahead and roll me a investigation check at advantage.
Ooh.
Because the magical essence from this light is starting to hit you in a little bit of a different way. It's kind of piquing your curiosity a little bit more. As you come off the walkway and you kind of walk up to the crystal, it's very, very bright. You have to cover your eyes as to, not be blinded looking immediately at a bright ass lighthouse light, which could probably blind you. Um, you feel that there is you see this light itself is of two different schools of magic. One, um, well, it's three: conjuration and transmutation, which makes sense for this light being magically there and continuously um, going back and forth um, and doing its job as it's like so you can see that the crystal itself was not itself magical before, but it was transmuted into a magically malleable substance, and then a magical ever burning light was conjured with inside of the crystal itself. And so the light itself um, cannot be extinguished unless somebody magically decides to do so. But you also notice that there is a little weave of abjuration magic kind of buried towards the most bottom part of the crystal, and it just seems out of place, strangely. But who knows? Maybe the people wanted to protect this crystal in a different kind of way, from people trying to dispel the magic or something.
Interesting. Well, now my interest is piqued. Um. Hmm. Well, using an item that I have, hee uh, I'm going to use my goggles of object reading
Okay.
to identify the crystal.
Ooh. Um. Yes. So there is one spell that is on the crystal, which has doesn't seem to have a place. The spells that transmuted the crystal into being magically malleable, and the ever-burning flame summon inside of it, those don't seem to be any particular spell. It just seems to be someone. You know that there are artificers in artifice-based magic in Moreau. This seems to just kind of be some sort of and magical engineering that's kind of put this together. So it doesn't seem like any spell in particular, like arcane perspective, is affecting this. But the um, arcane lock spell does seem to be affecting this crystal, but there's nothing that it seems to be locking in this crystal in particular, which just seems odd.
I don't have dispel magic. Boy, interesting.
There might be somebody in your party who does.
Oh, you mean the other person? The only other person?
Yeah.
Um. Well,
She's staring intently at the crystal.
clerics get dispel magic?
Yeah.
Some do.
What?
Some do. Not all, but some.
What the hell are clerics?
The multi-classing of gods. Jesus.
Man, I should like play a cleric or something.
Just saying.
Well, I will. After identifying this, because we're a team, we're partners. I will, do my best, kneel down, get Leaf's attention, and explain in the, fatherly way what I know, and just figure it out.
All right.
Can you answer my whisper?
I'm
DM?
getting there.
Okay.
Also, are we magically bonded? No.
Telepathically, yeah, so you don't need to verbally tell me anything.
Well, then
We have
I
it for
still
1
kneel
hour.
down though. I still kneel down though. I'm a father, dang it.
So what are you doing in regards to the crystal, since you can multitask as a character?
Oh, I'm touching it.
Oh, you're just touching it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
It's shiny.
it's also very warm.
It's shiny and very warm. Yep, I touch it.
Sounds right. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Two natural 20s.
What is going on with your double rolls?
I don't know, but I'll take 2 natural 20s because he can't say we're gonna take the lower. It's like, you can't.
It's very, very
Raise
hot,
the
and
lower.
it would normally burn you, but this is like comfortably warm.
uh, as I twitch it, can I roll an Arcana check to see if I learn anything because it's uncomfortably warm? Like, was it trying to
Yes.
cast a spell on me or something like
Yeah,
that?
go for it.
It's the thing that burned your village down.
Aw, don't even talk like that, Tin.
It doesn't seem like it was the magic that burned you. It just seems that this crystal is just hot from being in constant use of having a flame burning inside of it. So just the outside is just naturally warm. So it's just like a light bulb, basically. Light bulb heat.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Leaf just kind of pulls her hand back and she thinks to Valen. She goes, "It's really hot. Don't touch it.
Noted.
Do you want me to turn it off?"
There was nothing else downstairs, right? Nothing was disturbed. I couldn't see any potential cave entrances when I did the walk around. There's nothing on the second floor. The bed looked fine. The table. How's a secret entrance gonna be on the second floor, anyways? That don't make no sense.
Sometimes to go down, you have to go up, and sometimes to go up, you have to go down.
Yeah, I will think. Yes. Turn it off.
Before I do you hear that?
You have no idea what she's talking about.
What?
You just hear waves.
That. And it says in Elvish, you will hear in your brain because we both speak Elvish. You will hear Uh, come, little children, the ocean calls for you. And then she kind of pauses and then she says, yes, then it says more. Well, I don't understand it, but I understand that.
Oh boy. Are you saying if I was a child and I was like a 100-year-old elf, I would be hearing this?
Mm,
That's my immediate reaction.
I just hear it. But you want me to turn this off or do you want me to leave it on?
Come, little children, to the what now?
Come, little children, the ocean calls for you. Now, do you want me to turn this off or
I
not?
am speaking out of character. Come, I immediately forgot it. Come, little children, the ocean calls to you.
Calls for
The
you.
ocean
Oh, calls for
calls
you.
for you.
Yo, that's kind of freaky. Why is children capitalized, you weirdo?
That was her doing, not
Emphasis?
mine.
Emphasis? I don't know.
Alright, come, little children, the ocean calls for you.
Is it still going? Can I still hear it?
It is. It's just basically, you'll hear it, it sings for a couple of seconds, and then it stops, and then about a minute or two later, it kind of comes through your head again. Never any louder, never any quieter. Doesn't feel like it's getting any closer or further away. You don't feel a pull as of right now to follow the voice. You're just hearing it.
Hmm.
I
Um, I,
will think with the bond, what else is it saying? Is that all? What else
mm,
can you hear?
there's there's other stuff. I don't know what it says. It's not. It's not common. It's not giant. It's not undercommon. So I don't know. This is all I know. I'm sorry.
Oh man, my mind is immediately going to so many different things right now. Trying to
Leaf
think
will
of ways.
Leaf will wander her way to the window. Like if there's a little window here, or like the ability to step outside.
Hmm.
Well,
She'll like
remember, there's an otter walkway.
she will step her way out into onto the otter walkway and see if she hears anything other than the otters that are probably screaming because they're getting walked on.
No, but it's louder, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Wisdom save and throw from the cleric. 28.
Oh,
You
that's not even a nat 20.
No, it's close though. You step out onto the walkway, and the voice gets a little louder. You can't see where it's coming from because the you don't have dark vision, and the light only goes out so far. You can't pinpoint exactly what you see or where the voice comes from, should I say? But every now and again, you feel like you see like a flash in the water, a little ways off the shore, further out than you should reasonably try to swim. You kind of feel the urge for a second to almost step off the walkway to go to it, but then you just like, that's just unsafe. Why would I do that? And you just don't. You just kind of keep looking out for a second, but the voice kind of stays at that little bit louder pitch now that you're outside, but never any louder, never any quieter after that. It doesn't change its cadence. It's just the same tone, very reassuring.
Hmm. Leaf will step off the otter walkway and wander back inside. Um, and then she will think, you said that this was made of what magic?
It's got three. It's got conjuration and transmutation, and then the arcane lock spell, which I believe is abjuration. Unless I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Imagine the DM being wrong.
I'm not. It's abjuration. It's
Does
abjuration.
does are any of those protection style
Yep.
magic?
Abjuration is. Abjuration
Okay.
magic is like a school of protection or non-detection. So in this case, arcane lock is typically used to secure something, to like lock a door or a safe, or um, something that would require more than like. So, for example, a rogue could not lockpick this because it's magically locked, and the only way to do it is to either cast the knock spell, or dispel it, or have some other magical means by which to break a magical lock.
Hmm.
So,
I just had a theory form in my brain.
Leaf's gonna look over at Valin and kind of tilt her head to one side and say, and think to him, the voice outside is singing and trying to pull people to them. I think that turning this off, and she points to the crystal, is a bad idea.
Uh,
Do you want me to go shout at it and tell it to go away?
no, stay inside. Do not leave my eyesight, and I will begin walking outside. And as I kind
She will grab you by your jacket and she will stare up at you with those big silvery blue eyes and say, please don't go.
I kneel down, um, and I will actually speak this. I'm not gonna think it. Um, I promise I am not going anywhere. Just stay inside and stay safe. Ignore this voice in your head. If it's not mine, ignore it.
Okay. But and she will reach forward and she will clap both of her tiny little hands against her face, against your face, and she will put her forehead against yours, and she will say, "You need to be safe and you need to be strong." And I will cast Death Ward on you.
Well, hot damn.
well, now if you fall
So
off the lighthouse, you won't die immediately.
Right?
that would be a really long fall to go that far.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, I think I'm fine with falls.
Oh yeah, probably.
just be careful and don't give in to any of the voices.
You stay inside and don't wander off.
Okay.
I will walk out to the otter walkway and give another scan into the ocean.
Roll me a perception check.
Wow.
Ouch.
You don't see shit.
Nope.
Leaf's making it all up.
You just see every now and again just the purple flash of the light as it comes, as it wraps around you, and kind of your shadow is very large out onto the ocean water as this light kind of eclipses around you and you block a portion of it. So it looks like you're standing shadowy way out in the ocean, but you don't see anything.
Mm.
And Leaf, the voice seems to have stopped.
I will telepathically message back. As if there's no more singing. Maybe you scared it away.
I have a theory,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that little leaf got it right on the head. I think if we turn this off, we're going to be drawing freaking sirens to the.
Cthulhu.
Yeah,
Cthulhu's gonna come in. Justin
yeah,
popped in chat.
yeah. My
What?
thought is, the arcane lock is on the light. The light is keeping these creatures at bay because of the lock.
The
That's the
from
working
from your from your investigation of it, the lock doesn't seem to be connected to the crystal itself. It seems to be there, but it doesn't seem to like. So imagine the crystal as one big diamond floating. The arcane lock is kind of at the bottom of this crystal, not on it. It's like kind of on the ground beneath it in this giant bowl that the lighthouse light sits in. It's like on the bowl itself. It's not on the actual light crystal.
Okay. Hmm. So with that knowledge, I will walk back inside and let's see.
She gives a frantic wave as soon as you come inside and points to the ground, like, I didn't move! Like that type of child response.
um. How big is the crystal?
It is a solid 3.5 feet from top to bottom and probably about 2 feet around. It's really large.
Really large. Okay, I have a unique question. I know it's meant to, it's the magical lighthouse. Does this look like basically an amplified, larger spellcasting crystal?
You mean like a crystal
Like an
that you would
arcane
cast like
focus,
spell
yeah.
into, and then it would kind of like a Wi-Fi router kind of spread it around to
Well, I
it.
guess that more like a maybe like the crystal like arcane focus. Does it look like a larger version of a wizard's arcane focus?
Oh no, it looks like it's just some non. It looks so kind of looking at it from the checks you got earlier. The transmuted object looks like it went from a mundane, just like quartz crystal, into something that is able to maintain a consistent um, piece of magic inside of it. It doesn't look like it would be able to be used for a focus for any other casting. It looks like it's a capsule to hold the magic inside of itself for this specific purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We don't have to like swap 7 different maps to do this, but I would like to take Leaf back downstairs real quick to grab the other crystal and bring it upstairs.
Okay.
Um, I just want the crystal up here.
Okay.
Kind of place it down somewhere.
Okay. Doesn't seem to have any type of reaction to this big light
Yeah.
crystal.
I'll magically think. Yeah. Unlock the lock.
Isn't that dangerous?
That, my little Leaf, is why I brought up this second one. And if anything happens, I will keep you safe. We must uncover the secrets of this island, and I think this is our way forward.
Okay. And Little Leaf will hold out her hands. Do you want her to target? You want her to target the crystal, right? Not the lock.
The lock isn't on the crystal, right?
Correct. It's
Arcane
basically,
lock?
yeah, the crystal is basically floating a little bit over this giant bowl that you can see on there, and the arcane lock itself is like on the bowl.
Dispel the lock or dispel the crystal?
You do know that the crystal itself, like I said, is a basically a traffic coordinator for ships at nighttime and in storms, and if you were to
Yeah.
dispel the light, you would inevitably could be killing a lot of people or causing a lot of other
Yeah.
problems. Which you're more than
Dispel
welcome to do, just so you know the repercussions of that would be.
dispel the lock. See where that takes us.
All right. And Leaf will take a deep breath and hold out her hands at the lock and cast dispel magic, which pokes
Twice.
twice. Twice casting. It did take away 2 spell slots, so I need to fix that.
That
That's
is
weird.
weird. So as you kind of touch the arcane lock and say a couple of magical words for your incantation, the you almost see like this magical looking lock kind of float up and then just unlocks, and it's the spell collapses and kind of turns to magical threads in your hands. It's almost like you hold up a padlock which turned into a ball of yarn which just like dissolved in your hands. And as you dispel the lock, the arcane lock, nothing in regards to the crystal or the light rotating from it changes. But you do hear with your passive perception of 20, um, the almost sliding of like a rock and then the releasing of like a hiss. Like, you know, when doors are closed for a long time and you open them and a bunch of dust pops out and you just hear like the air release from the inside? You hear that from down below inside of the lighthouse.
A door opened. And her head just kind of like perks and her ears kind of twitch and she looks towards the direction of the staircase.
Little, little, you know, head rub, and good job, little leaf. Let us go investigate.
All right. And she will take your cloak with one hand
Downstairs we go.
and follow you down.
All right, so you guys make your way down to the bottom floor of the lighthouse. And pretty much as you get to the bottom, you see, I'm going to draw it because I don't have an actual door, but like right here, a trap door has appeared on the floor. It looks like the floor that was around it seems to have shifted and moved out of the way, and this trap door has been revealed. And it is unlocked and it is cracked as if it's been opened. So,
Door.
Hmm. Let's see here. I will kind of. So it's currently opened.
yeah, it's basically unlocked. Like someone has opened the trap door, but not opened it all the way. So it's just like wedged open. It looks like you could easily open it and see what's down there.
I will. Yeah, I will lift it up to see what's down there.
As you open it and you look down, you see that it's fairly dark. There isn't really any light down there from right now anyway that you can see. But after a small climb down of maybe 10 feet or so, you see that it kind of opens up into a staircase.
I will look down. I'll look at Leaf and say, "Come, little Leaf. Remember, stay behind me." And
Okay.
head down.
Okay. And I will cast light on myself and then head down as well.
All right. So, as you guys make your way
Oh my God, dungeon.
a dungeon, I need both of you to go ahead for me and make DC 14 Constitution saving throws as you make your way onto the stairwell.
Oh boy.
22. So, as you guys climb down, the stench of what smells like rotting meat is just overwhelming your senses. Leaf, you kind of shake it off. Your furball nose has smelled some bad things in your time, in your short 10 years of life. You did find a slaughtered village after all. And
Ooh, too soon.
I know, is it? But Volin, you just like start hacking and coughing, and you just cannot get this smell out of your lungs, and you are considered poisoned for the next 10 minutes.
Oh.
The poisoned condition for the next 10 minutes. So, unless
Damn.
you have a spell that will get rid of poisons,
Um.
you are poisoned for 10 minutes.
Let me find out.
I think it's lesser restoration you would need. But if not, you're poisoned for 10 minutes. as the
Yeah, I'm
smell is
probably
gross.
just poisoned for 10
And
minutes.
Leaf, you are now immune mechanically to the poisoned condition from this aroma. But after this 10 minutes is up, Volan, you cannot be re-poisoned by it. You are just having a not good time.
Got it.
All right. So yeah, you cough your way through it, and you choke it down. But the air is putrid with just gross, rotting flesh, and this is where you find yourself. You do see, however, as you look around some of the corners, there does seem to be a little bit of light coming from this way. I mean, you have dark vision, but you can see kind of as you go further down the stairwell and down into the hallway over here, there is some light.
Okay, as this happens, I'm going to cast um, on myself false life.
Oh, snap. All right, so you get 5 temporary HP.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Boom, boom. Oh boy, poison sucks.
And it's very underutilized, but when it works, it's really fun.
And I don't have lesser restoration on me either.
There you
I would like to absorb the element.
go. Well, you can't absorb.
Because I would like to
Stinks.
absorb the poisoned condition.
No. You can inhale more and get more poisoned if you want,
Dang.
but no.
Well, you said that's not how that works. I can't be repoisoned.
You would just get
If I
vomiting.
inhale more, it's just default. Alright, well, I'm gonna grossly begin walking through with Leaf behind me.
Are you okay?
Looks
I'm
a little green around the gills.
just not used to the smell.
Oh, I am.
Jesus!
That's way sadder because we know what it's from.
Jesus!
Oh my goodness.
My good lord.
You make your way around this part of the tunnel and you see that it splits off to your right here, and if you look further down, it then also splits left and right further ahead of you.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh good lord. Well, I moved my token there, but I didn't drop them. But I already see what I see, so I'm just gonna drop them.
So as you step there, you see these piles of flesh, formless machinations of structureless anatomy in piles on the ground. Um, and as you kind of catch these in your vision and stare at these boneless meat piles, they both begin to gesticulate and kind of clamber towards you.
Ew,
Volan.
gesticulate.
Yes.
Oh,
I literally, because, you know, the dark vision of being able to move your token and see around stuff is on before you even drop it. I moved it around the corner, and my immediate thought was, oh, great. Oh, good lord. I see it, but it's like I'm already moved there. Oh, boy. Boneless.
boneless. No bones.
I got
Did
no
my
bones.
mission not go through? What?
It did not go through.
BS.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
oh no!
We were not prepared to be down here.
Oh
No.
no!
You weren't.
Oh no! That's not good.
Alright, we're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do the old switcheroo on music styles. Alright, so this first boneless, it sees you, and it just gesticulates right up to you,
Ew.
Volan. And it's gonna go ahead and take 2 slam attacks at you.
Ah, that's rude.
So your first one, a 24 for 6.
Oh, snapples.
Hold on. Hold on, not blade singing. Yeah, that's fine.
And the second one,
Well, my temp HP is gone.
a 7 misses.
Uh,
Yes.
does a 7 miss?
So, well, that's good that it missed both of them. And that it is.
Well, it hit the 24.
Yeah, I know. It missed one of them. But yeah, it missed the second one. But that's its turn, and you see this big old pile of meat bag just rolling all up on you. And the second boneless is just gonna follow suit and go right there.
Oh man, why you gotta make those noises?
And it's gonna try and slam you twice too. First one,
hits,
24 for 6, and the second one
misses.
Wow, almost identical rolls. So you took a grand total of 12 bludgeoning damage from these two really gross thing.
Yeah.
And it's now your turn.
All right. Well, I pull out my rapier and Leaf. I don't know if this would be the first time you've seen him. We probably got into scrapes before, so it probably wouldn't be. But as I pull out my rapier, it kind of hums with its own magical energy as the sound of elven music kind of just emanates from the blade as I go into a blade song.
Nice.
With my bonus action.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
You get a plus bunch to your int modifier. You get 10 more movement. You have advantage on dex checks, and you get a bonus to your con saves on spells.
Yeah, so my armor class is now a 19.
There you go.
And unfortunately I have disadvantage on my attacks because of poisoned. Blade singing isn't a spell, it's a feature of
Correct.
this.
Correct.
So I can still cast an action spell.
Think of it like the Wizard's Rage.
The Wizard's Rage?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It's the same
like,
exact.
what?
It's the same exact type of feature. It's like Rage.
You confused me
Yeah.
so hard by saying the Wizard's Rage.
Oh, but yeah, that's what it is. It's just the Rage for wizards.
Okay, well I will I'm going to, using my rapier,
Okay.
I'm going to Green Flame Blade.
Ooh.
This feller.
Okay.
Down here.
All right.
I don't know if this will
21
also...
for sure hits.
Oh, right,
and it gets,
hold on. That's, sorry, disadvantage, right?
yeah. 14 will also hit. So it takes the first damage, and then the other damage goes to his buddy. Is that how that goes?
Hold on.
Both damage, let me see. And the target on hit, the fire damage to the second is 1d8 plus spellcasting. Cool. So the first guy gets 20 total damage, and the second guy gets 11. Damn.
Sure.
That's how that goes. And this guy in front of you is looking, he smells gross, and he looks real bad. That was a solid hit. And this other guy is also looking pretty bad too.
It's kind of like a one fell swoop. Rapier comes out, it begins humming with its magical energy, and then the flames light up on the rapier as I just slash into the first one, and the flames kind of overtake it a little bit and then bounce to the other guy as I'm standing here in my defensive position.
Alright. And do you want to take a second swing or second stab?
Can I do that after Green Flame Blade? I know I have two attacks, but I don't know how this works.
With Blade Singer, you can exchange out one of your melee attacks for a cantrip. It can be any cantrip.
Oh, so I can Green Flame Blade then normal attack.
Yep, or the other way around.
Oh my goodness.
So, yep.
I will attack I'll attack the first one again. Yeah.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Oh my god, this is cool.
Yep. 8, it dies. You stab right into it and it
just quick cuts with the rapier.
It schmelts to the ground.
Schmelts.
Do you want to move anywhere, or do you want to stay where you are?
Yes, I will, no, I'm gonna stay where I am in my defensive position of Leaf.
Okay. Leaf, you just saw Bolin get attacked by 2 mobilizing meat sacks, and then he took one of them out.
So half of her is like, yay! And the other half is like, oh no! And, so for the back you hear, yay! And then you see, like, a little, she pulls her shield off of her back and, like, holds it in front of her. And from over the shield, you see a little tiny finger, and it points out and it points to the other one because I can't see it.
Yep.
I can see the corner of it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Bing bong," and I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
It rolls a 1.
Oh my god.
Bing bong.
You see Bing Bong, and as you see and hear the Bing Bong, you see all of the boneless meat just kind of quiver and quiver and quiver, and then it just explodes and it dies.
And it's the quietest bing bong from the back, but it is the loudest bells
I will tell you
ever.
that would have one-shot either of them. So you know. So your blade song lasts for a minute, right? Is that how that
Yes.
goes? So you can see what's in this room right now. You can either continue or you can try and run around for the next minute and see if you can maintain it. It's completely up to you. You tell me what you want to do.
No, I will sheath my rapier and end the blade song.
Okay.
And I would like to examine these creatures for a second.
All right. Go ahead and roll investigation or medicine.
Are they of the Fey, Fiend, or Undead variety?
They are of the undead variety.
Okay. And that was a medicine or investigation?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, my investigation is better. And
It's
I
actually
understand
just
it.
going to be a straight roll because you're poisoned, remember?
Yes.
So. 24. All right. So yeah, as you look at these things, well, one, I love this. This is probably my favorite battle music, but we gotta kill it for a bit. Go back to tomb music. Yeah, as you look at this, it basically looks like somebody animated a skeletonless, helpless man. Um, it just looks like a big sack of flesh and tissue and connective musculature. And it just, as you're looking at it, it looks like it kind of thrives in this poisonous environment. And it doesn't seem like the poison that is affecting you had affected it at all. But it looks like it can also, like, based on how there are no bones, you would imagine that it can kind of just maneuver through cracks and crevices and take its slimy, fleshy body through things. Looks like somebody animated these somehow.
Okay, so I am getting the signs of reanimation.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't imagine in any possibly good world that a skinned person can have their skin reanimated and not be under the control of something. That just wouldn't make any logical sense. So, but you do know it. They're definitely undead. So the thing that was alive is obviously not anymore. You killed it
Okay.
twice.
Were we told that there was a lighthouse keeper before we arrived?
No.
Okay. There goes that question that I was gonna ask. I will stand back up for my investigation, grab Leaf, and say, stay close, little Leaf, and stay vigilant. And I will kind of walk into this room.
And I will narrow my eyes in seriousness and follow behind.
As you walk into this room, you can see that there are a couple sconces, one on each wall, up here and down here, kind of putting off a little bit of light. They look like they're just ever burning torches that someone set ablaze. Um, and you look, and there's this small little, not quite altar, but like stone, looks like a desk altar combo. And there's an old tattered book on it. It's not or legible anymore. It seems to have just um, just fallen apart with time and disuse. It looks like whatever was on this that people were reading from, it's no longer. From IKEA, you know it. The Hergmadergma. But but yes, it's no longer a legible book. It looks like as you pick it up, it feels strange. It feels tough and leathery, but it's not readable.
Okay. I will because we were asked to bring back information, I will kind of put it in my backpack anyways.
Okay.
Um, and if we could kind of flash back for a second, I would have also liked to put the lighthouse keeper's journal in my backpack.
Sounds good to me. You got it.
Cool. So, and the lights are on. They're lit. The
Yeah.
sconces.
Yep. They look like someone basically cast the ever burning flame or whatever that spell is called that just has fire that burns forever unless you dispel it on them.
Interesting.
I forget what that spell's called.
It's probably called something.
Forever fire.
Is that a thing?
Probably.
There is a spell that does that. I just forget what it's called. I think it's a druid spell.
Thaumaturgy?
No, I'll find it in a minute.
Okay, so, but nothing. Can I investigate the altar desk combo from IKEA?
From IKEA. Sure.
The dingle sack?
You can look. It's called Continual Flame, and yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
You can do that. Oh man, it's expensive. It's 50 gold pieces, 50 rupee pieces to cast.
Continual flame?
Yeah, 50 gold pieces worth of ruby
What
dust.
level spell is this?
2. It's expensive to second level flame, but you have a permanent torch.
Alright, what would you like me to roll to investigate the hergy-durgy?
For something that is just an altar, you can just roll a normal investigation, but at disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Cool. Disadvantage.
It itself looks like. What languages do you speak?
I speak. Hold on a second. I can tell you right now. Ooh, snap.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Elvish. Cool. Alright, so it's a little bit an Abyssal, but then some languages you don't inherently read. And it talks about the removal of life, undeath, and generally taking resources from a person, whether that's their bones or their life or their magic, and reallocating them in a nutshell.
So then that's the writing on the altar in Abyssal.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of taking someone's bones or magic and moving it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
You do notice that the altar itself is like stark white.
Interesting.
And not like a brand newly painted stark white. Like, if you've ever been to like a graveyard or a really, really old church or really, really old building that has like really old white marble and it has that really aged white look to it, it looks like that.
Yeah.
Looks like that.
Okay.
But
So
it's got
it's-
no lid
okay.
or nothing. It's just like a solid built.
It's not a coffin.
No, it's not. It's just a solidly built stone structure of this
Got
white
it.
material. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. I will make note of that.
Okay.
And I will walk back to my little leaf.
While he's examining the altar, Leaf would be basically playing patrol.
Okay, where are you patrolling to?
She is standing in this hallway area and just listening very intently with her passive perception.
Which I remind you is 20.
Oh, I know what it is. I played in a campaign with Chandler who had a passive of 24, and the
the
DM
perception
hated
of-
it.
The passive perception of gods.
Right. You don't hear anything necessarily unusual. It sounds like a cold, deserted. Yes, it sounds cold. Cold, deserted underground structure, and just smells real bad.
Love the sound of coldness in the morning.
I love the sound of cold.
I know. It tingles your ear bones.
Hey, Mr. DM, how many minutes have passed?
This many. Because it hasn't
Wow.
quite been enough yet for 10.
Okay.
So I was like, that's how many out of 10 has passed. So you have 3 more minutes of being poisoned.
Okay, that's not bad.
No.
That's,
It's not.
Yeah.
Michael was poisoned for pretty much the whole time. So.
Oh my god, you poisoned him too?
Yeah, I used the same trap on both y'all, and it worked both times.
The stinky gas?
It's one of my favorite dumb traps to use.
Did you send them to a lighthouse too?
No, I did not. Watch
No.
it and you'll find out. But no, I did not send him to a lighthouse.
What? I walk back to Leaf and kind of.
But I like the stinky traps. They're just fun for me. Even if
Take
people
the-
fail them, pass them, they're fun.
Take Leaf behind me and continue walking.
I am diligently and angry child face focused listening as we
Okay.
travel.
Alright, so you can see that you have a small set of stairs to your left, right over here, and then a hallway which ends but then turns left over here. Which way you gonna go?
Interesting. I feel like we should explore all of our options, so I will walk this way first.
Okay.
Plonk. Plonk. Plonk.
You see a stone door in front of you that is closed.
Stone door. Does it have a handle?
This door over here does have a handle, yes.
I would like to, I'm not a dinghy. I would like to look see if anything's out of the ordinary with the door. Now
Okay.
that we know there are dangers around.
Roll me that investigation check with disadvantage. It just looks like a door. Nothing particularly special about the door, other than it's a door.
Can I hear anything behind the door?
Not through stone.
Not through stone.
Is there a keyhole?
Oh.
There is not a keyhole, but there is like a handle, but there's no keyhole. It doesn't look like this door is a lockable door, at least from this side.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll try the door.
Okay. It is not locked, and it is openable if you so choose.
Yes, I choose.
Alright, as you open the door, you get hit with another wave of stanky, rotten flesh, and you have some more flesh friends right in front of you.
Joy.
And they all kind of, you see the piles of flesh kind of quiver for a second as you open the door, and the breeze that has made its way from the outside lighthouse, because you never did close the lighthouse front door, the ocean breeze kind of whips its way through, and you see that these boneless meat sacks kind of quiver for a second as the salty air hits them, but it reinvigorates them and brings them to life, and they start maneuvering towards you.
Alright, good initiative, good initiative, good initiative. Oi!
Stupid
Look at
thing.
look at Leaf. Yeah, I don't know why you're double rolling, but hey, the crit. Don't worry, I'll take all the hits.
I mean, that's pretty much how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Alright, so Leaf, you are up first, and you see what you can see. You can only see the one, but as Volan opens the door, you can say there are three, but you can for sure see the one. So you know there are more than one, but you know that there is definitely the one that you can see.
Okay. I'm gonna peek my head around Volan's leg and see this guy, and I will point a finger at him and very quietly go, "Bing bong."
Bing bong.
If it works, it works.
Bing.
Bing bong.
It does, and he's not dead, but he is having a real bad time with that. You see the just boneless body, just kind of like its arms just flap up and cover over its ears, not just its hands, but its whole arms just like roll over, tying like a bow around its head to cover its ears because it thinks that's where the damage is coming from.
Bing bong. Okay. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna keep you safe.
Okay. All right. So this boneless is going to just move to right there and just slam at you. See if it can get you. 1, 2. 23 to 19.
Hold on a second. 23 to 19.
Uh-huh.
The 23 will hit, but I will shield the second one, bringing my armor class to 21.
Okay, so a 5 damage for you. And that boneless is just gonna stay there. This next boneless is gonna follow suit and just like crawl over. It's not even like fully erect in its like standing position. It's just kind of crawling, almost like a caterpillar of just flesh, just like putting arm out and just like dragging itself forward. So it gets to you and it's gonna attack from the prone position to just try and wrap around your legs to see if it can get you.
Oh,
Slam, slam. Both at disadvantage, which both miss.
yes.
So this one, just getting bing bonged in the head, is going to stand up and it's going to try and get to Leaf. But you're directly in the way of Leaf. So it's going to try and hit you twice to get through you. Yeah, it's reached only 5 feet, so. 21 and a 9.
Yeah, I've already used my reaction.
Well, that keeps until your turn, so you're...
No, I know, but I mean, I can't defensive duelist.
Oh, you're right. What is your AC, 21? No?
Yes. Cool. So the 7 goes through.
So 7 goes through, but the second one, and as it goes to slam and kind of wrap its arm around you after it thinks it's going to hit you the second time to bring you in for a crushing embrace, the second arm just bounces off the arcane shield and floats backwards. So you only take that 7 damage from the first sweaty, meaty, bleeding, fleshy arm.
Ew. Okay. Let us see here what I can do. Okay, well, I'm gonna go into a blade song.
Okay.
So I'll just repost that again. So 19 armor class now. And I will, on the first guy in front of me, once more as I pull out my rapier as it sings with elven songs, it will indeed once more be lit with green flame.
Okay.
As I swing at the one in front of me with still disadvantage.
Yes, because you are poisoned.
Okay, hold on a second. So
12 will just hit it.
Oh.
So it will take out this first one because it has less than 21 damage from HP. And then who do you want the flame to go to? The guy on the left or the right?
I would like it to go to this one.
Okay, so that's going to take 13 damage. And you set this prone meat pile on fire.
And I have a second attack, correct?
Correct.
And I will take a attack at prone meat pile.
So just a straight roll because you have no disadvantage on a prone character. You have no advantage either because you're poisoned. So 26 hits it, and as you stab your rapier down into it and twist and pull away, the flaming remnants of its flesh are still there, barely, but it's still hanging on.
Oh man, okay,
You know that where you are right now, Leaf cannot be touched, but Leaf can also not get past you. Well, I guess she could crawl under your legs, but you know.
I will take the defensive position and the risk of letting Leaf possibly be able to do more by moving myself between them. Still holding the defensive position, but giving Leaf the extra space to possibly see these two and do something.
Okay. Alright, so Leaf, it is your turn.
So, are they both prone or is it just one?
Just the one.
And that's the one that looks the worst, right?
Yeah, it looks like absolute trash.
Okay. So Leaf will take a step forward, despite her better judgment, and she will reach out a hand to the one that isn't at the worst. And she will, in as grumpy of a voice as she can, she will say, "Don't you dare hurt him!" And she will reach out and cast Inflict Wounds at second level for 28 to hit if 22 hits.
It does, and as you say, "Don't you hurt him," you see that all of this, like, the um, all the veins and the capillaries and arteries of what's left of this meat creature suddenly turn black, and just the whole, you can see as it kind of rears back, you see its whole vasculature system kind of like poisons this black color, and then it just falls to the ground dead.
She looks very stunned, and she pulls her hands back, and she looks a little traumatized at her hand because she's not used to doing like touch attack spells. And then she just kind of looks at Biffle and goes, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt him so bad."
You annihilated him. He's no more. He's just a pile of dead meat. Again. Anything else on your turn?
No, that is the end of my turn. She's just gonna stare at her hand, just in shock.
All right. This boneless creature is going to stand up, as to no longer be prone on the ground, and it's going to take 2 slams at you, Volan. So here's your first slam attack of a 23
Hits.
for 4. Here's your second one.
Misses.
All right, so 4 damage. And it tries to, again, it hits you with one arm and kind of latches it around you and tries to slam the second one to embrace you, but with your sword you just gracefully, kind of like a ballet dancer, just move out of the way and kind of use it to deflect off to the side. It is your turn.
All right, twin rapier attacks.
Okay. Yes, with a total of 20 damage, you very quickly just pierce it in 2 spots of where you would imagine its vital organs to be, and it slides off the tip of your rapier, dead.
And I will once more, if we're out of combat,
Yes.
sheath the rapier, and the elven songs stop as I end my blade song.
Yes, you do. You see around you in this room 6 broken coffins which have no bodies in them. It looks like whatever bodies were in these coffins have been moved or are no longer being utilized.
So there are nothing.
They're no
in
longer
coffin.
in here. Yeah, there's nothing in these coffins.
All right. Well, before I examine anything, I will turn around to Leaf, seeing Leaf examining her hand, and I will kneel down, put my hands on her shoulders, and look at her and say, "You have very strong powers, little Leaf, and you saved my life. For that, I thank you. You did good."
I didn't want you to get hurt. And that thing was gonna hurt you.
Little cheek pinch. Stand back up. Come now, little Leaf. We have more exploring to do. And I want to walk into the room and do maybe like a full blanket. You know, if there were more bonelesses in here, more creatures of undeath in here, could I possibly determine if they, came from this crypt, if they came from here, they were resurrected from here, or any bodies that would have been in this room in any of these coffins?
The bodies that were, like I said, they're no longer in these coffins. Just kind of putting 2 and 2 together, you could imagine that these bodies probably came from these coffins. Um, they're they were used for whatever brought them back from the dead and whatever utilized their bones. But yes, you would imagine that the bodies that you have fought so far have come from this little crypt.
Okay. I'm also just gonna pop a normal potion of healing.
Okay. Nice.
Solid. Yeah, I'll just pop one.
Can sorry.
No, you go.
Can Leaf inspect one of the crypts? Is there writing on it at all?
No, it just looks like it's a unmarked um, tomb. It looks like the stone coffin was brought here. It doesn't look like it was initially buried here. It looks like it came from some place else, but there's no writing on any of the coffins.
Is there any inscriptions of religious references that she may recognize?
I'm gonna roll a D100. If it's high, then yes. If it's low, then no. No, there's not.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that's what you see in this room so far. You see these sconces are also hit with that same magic of continual flame, and they're burning in this room as well. Bunch of dead meat here, literal dead meat.
Literal dead meat.
May they all rest in peace.
Um. Okay. Um. Is there anything inside of these coffins? Anything in them? As
No,
I do a walk around.
just yeah, it just looks like the fabric that the bodies were resting on is the only thing that's in those coffins.
Okay. I will then begin walking to the entrance, the way we came, and just say, "Come, little leaf. We have another passageway to explore."
Okay.
I assume same signs of what looks to be, reanimation.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, did my Dark Tomb music stop?
I still hear
It's
Dark
not
Tomb.
playing. Oh,
I
Well,
also
now
still
it's
hear it.
over.
I restarted it.
Oh, okay.
It
Am
stopped
I
for
still
me.
poisoned?
Nope. You are no longer poisoned.
Cool. I will remove that.
And I will take off the skull face from your face. The red is your death ward,
Yes.
which you have for 8 whole hours.
Yeah.
As you make your way down here, you see that you make your way down the steps. It's only a few feet down, only like 5 or 6 feet down. You do see directly ahead of you, as you make your way, that there are pillars. Kind of, that's what this big light is right here. This is a pillar blocking the way. You do see there is a staircase down off to your left, and further ahead towards the end of the hall, you see there are two brightly lit torches burning, but you can't quite see what they are showing as the pillars are directly in your line of sight. But you do see that there is some type of end of the hall that way, maybe.
Hmm. Okay, as we begin walking, I'm going to cast False Life
Okay.
at a second level.
Okay.
Or, well, I guess, well, yeah. Yeah, second level spell slot.
Ooh, nice.
That is a
Max.
real nice amount there.
Yeah, 13 temp.
There you go.
Continue walking on in, with my hand kind of just hovering over my rapier's handle.
Okay. And you can see that there are 4 pillars now as you step around them. And as you look and you see further down this way, you can see that there's a light with a small set of stairs going up, and then another set of stairs going to this small little um, plateau. And then on the other side of the plateau, there is some sort of um, there's an altar as well, a very stark white altar.
Any writing on these pillars?
No, they just seem to be like structural support pillars.
And the altar, does it look similar to the old one
It looks.
in color?
No, it's also stark white. Um, you. It looks similar but different in that this one looks like it's maybe movable, At least it's
Hmm.
it's in two sections. It looks like the top part might be movable, at least from here. You can't quite tell without a closer look because you're quite a distance away. But yes, as you progress forward a little bit, you see a staircase, and at the top of this there is a double stone door as well.
Hmm.
Uh, Leaf will ask Volan to stop in their telepathic link, and she will put her finger to their lips. And then with my passive perception of 20, do I hear anything?
From where you are right now, you hear a weird scraping on walls from somewhere like off in this distance, but it doesn't seem like it's coming from like this altar or this specific room, but it's coming from that general region, like a weird scratching on the wall. So,
Does it sound like is it consistent or is it kind of like a broken pattern?
it's like a broken pattern, like something is just like scraping on the walls and then stopping, and then like scraping again on the walls and then stopping.
Okay. Uh, Volan, I think something ahead is scratching. It may be a kitty, but I don't think a kitty would live down here. So it might be another one of those things. But those things didn't have claws. And you hear this trail of like childlike thoughts of like what it could be, and it all ends with no, that couldn't be down here. So it's like it's an owl, it's a woodpecker. It's like she's like going through this list of like childlike things, and then realizing she's still in the connection, she kind of drops it so she can listen to you. But in the back of her head, she's still like going through all these like woodland options of what it could be.
And just kind of turn back and in the connection just say, just stay quiet and keep your eyes and ears open.
She puts a finger to lips and then points to herself. And then there's a small pause, and in your mind you hear, "Oh yeah, I don't have to be quiet in here."
I will very quietly, as best I can, and sneakily begin, walking forward. As if
Okay.
we hear scraping sounds in the immediate room, I don't want to check the door just yet.
Okay.
'Cause I'm thinking tactically, we don't want to get attacked from behind.
Or above.
Or
And I'm
below.
obviously, with that, I'm keeping my eyes open everywhere. I'm scanning the room as I inch forward.
Okay. Yeah, as you inch forward, you don't see anything other than this room's more well lit than the rest of the cavern. Is interesting because the rest of this underground structure so far, the light has been normal torch colored light, like that orangey kind of yellowish glow. The light, however, in this room is white.
Hmm,
Hmm.
okay. I will step into the room.
Okay. You step into the room and you see what you
Anything on
see.
the ceiling?
No, just a stone ceiling.
Kind of wave for Leaf to follow.
Is the scratching still continuing?
You hear it every now and again, but it's not a continuous scratch. And it sounds like it's coming from multiple sources. Like there are multiple things scratching, but
Mm.
it's all coming like it's like it's consistent when they all scratch. So it's like you hear like three scratches and then like nothing, and then you hear like three more scratches and then like nothing. So
Does it? But there's no pattern. It's very
no,
erratic.
yeah, it's
Okay,
consistently inconsistent.
gotcha. Okay. Um, Leaf will point out, be like, "It sounds like there's multiple in the telekinetic link. Like it sounds like there's multiple scratching.
Hmm.
Like mice or rats."
Okay. As this talking continues, I'm going to pull out two different potions. I'm going to chug another normal healing.
Hmm. Okay.
And on top of that, I am going to drink my potion of necrotic resistance.
Okay. I'll put a little purple dot on you so you get some necrotic resistance buff.
So I now have necrotic resistance.
Okay.
And I will begin carefully walking to this altar.
Okay.
Walking up. I would like
Okay.
to examine it.
ROUS. Woos. I don't know what ROUS means.
Rodents of unusual size.
Ah, that makes sense. Go ahead and roll a investigation check.
Is this related to Fae Fiend Undead?
No.
Okay, so straight investigation.
Correct. 12. So with a 12, it is a large, stark white altar with some symbology on it, um, similar to what you read on the previous altar. This one talks more about not only stripping resources, life, bones, etc., from individuals, but from communities, countries, and the world, and to reallocate them to a single creature. And that's what you get with the 12.
Interesting. And this looks like it can be opened?
Yes. It looks like it can be opened, but as you try and open it, it looks like something is holding its seal in place. It does look movable, though.
But something's holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. What to do? What to do? I don't know what to do.
You, Leaf, hear the scratching again, and this time it is just a little louder and sounds like it's getting a little closer from this
Can I tell what direction?
uh, this general direction.
Oh, okay. Uh, that radio signal to full. The scratches are back. It's more consistent, and it's coming from up there. And you see her little tiny hand points up north.
I turn around and kind of gesture for Leaf to kind of maybe get closer to the back wall a little bit as I begin walking down, and I get ready with my rapier, kind of
Cool.
just.
As you guys make these maneuvers, you see that this creature comes. If it will let me select it, here we go. I'm gonna put it here. It comes charging out um,
Oh no!
from here.
Fuck is this?
It basically meets you here as you get there with your rapier out, and Leaf comes out of the way. It meets you, and bam! This six-armed creature. I will send you the picture of what this thing looks like. Oh, sorry.
Ew.
This five-armed creature that's very skeletal and very put together meets you, Roland.
These guys are rough.
And I need everybody to go ahead with the initiatives.
Oh, a good one. The lost are rough. What was it? The lost, the lonely, and the hungry.
They are quite some time. Yes, 18.
Is there a fourth one, or is that the three of them?
That might be the 3. I don't know. All right.
Oh look at us loading up an order. How nice of
Alright.
us.
Volin, you are up first.
Okay. I'm.
What's your purple again? I already forgot.
My purple is
necrotic resistant. That's right.
Um, I'm not going to Blade Song.
Okay.
What am I going to do though? I can. Can I bonus action spell and attack?
If it's a bonus action spell, yes, then you can do
Okay.
2 attack actions. You just can't. You can still. So if you have a bonus action spell, You can do that, and then you can still do a action attack and cantrip because your subclass lets you replace an attack with a cantrip.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Oh boy. I will. Okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to bonus action, take out my rapier, and I kind of run my hand over it and slice my hand across it as it imbues with bright, kind of golden, whitish, radiant sparkles.
All right.
As I have my Rite of the Dawn, so I take a d4 damage. 3. Thankfully, I have temp HP. And I now have
Even
D4.
more resistant to necrotic damage.
Yeah. And I have d4 of radiant damage.
Okay.
Because it is of my chosen type, and it makes sense. And I will swing with the rapier twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Ride the Dawn. Yeah. Yes, okay. Just making sure. Okay. Twice. Kablooey, blowy.
So 15 damage right out the gate, plus your plus your 10. What's that? So that's another 18 out the gate. So there's 33
And then the d4 from the Rite of the Dawn.
on both of those.
Yes, is this thing an undead?
No.
Okay, so
Plus 3 plus 8 because you also get to max that dawn damage because it's a dice that rolls. And is that your? And do you? You don't have the piercer feat, right?
I do not.
Okay.
Also, fun fact: if you want, you can give me a 20 radius of light because the Rite of the Dawn, my weapon sheds 20 bright light.
Yes, it does.
Why did I buy a necrotic potion?
I don't know, man.
Let's see. Just making sure I don't have anything. Yes, that is everything. And I will actually move directly in front of it to take an even more defensive position between me and Leaf.
Okay.
I slash into it.
All right. As you slash into it and deal a significant portion of damage, it's going to, with all 5 of its arms, try and embrace you and wrap you.
Oh no. This ability sucks.
So a 25 to hit.
Yeah, I can't.
For 34 piercing damage and 18 psychic damage.
Okay, hold on. So...
that's a total of 52 damage.
Alright, I just need to... So 52... So it'd be 42 directly to my health, taking away the temp health. 42. Ow!
And you are considered grappled and frightened.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't take that psychic damage till your turn. So add yourself 18 damage, 18 health back. But you don't take that until the end of your next turn. So you got 18 back. But you take 34 right now.
Yeah, the Lost, if they can embrace you, they hurt.
Yep. And that is the Lost's turn. So, Leaf, it is your turn. You just saw Volin get all 5 arms just wrapped around him with these Scyther-esque arms.
Yeah, so little Leaf kind of panics. And do I see the fear take hold?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So, she's gonna run up behind Volin and say, don't be frightened, I'm here. And she will slap her hands on anything she can reach that's him and not the other guy, and I will cast heroism on him.
Ooh.
Which makes him immune to being frightened.
All right, so you're no longer frightened. You have 4 temporary hit points, and you're no longer frightened until. So basically, as long as you're grappled, you're frightened. But because you currently can't be frightened, if you remain grappled after those hit points go away, you are still frightened. So basically, you have to escape, or once those temporary hit points go away, your fright comes back. So you're temporarily buffed until you're free, or a minute passes.
Yep.
Is it
so,
until the HP goes away? It just says until the spell ends, the creature's immune.
The target when the spell ends, the target loses any. The creature's immune and gains temporary. Oh no, for a minute you are immune to being frightened. So yeah, and you have 4 HP. So yeah, you are currently no longer scared.
What?
You're not scared, and you have 4 hit points.
So, and they regenerate at the start of each of your turn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And gains temporary hit points equal at the start of each of its turns. Yeah, so you get 4. So even if you go down, you come. Well, because temporary hit points can't heal you from death, so I hope you don't go down.
Well, he can go down because he'll come back with 1, and then he'll have 5.
That's true.
I'm gonna move back. Don't you
go.
dare go off my turn. I'm moving back.
Valen, it's your turn. And you are currently grappled. No longer frightened. You're feeling bolstered.
Is it an action to break free?
It is.
Huh.
But you already know mechanically that you're taking 18 psychic damage if you remain grappled by the end of this turn.
Yeah.
So. It's a DC 14 athletics or acrobatics escape.
But that would be my turn.
Yeah, but you still have a bonus action, so you can still do that with whatever you have. But it would be if you have bonus action stuff you can do, but it would be an action to break free.
Okay.
And you have 4 more HP too, because it's the start of your turn.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't stack. It's just the 4 temp HP,
that's right?
right?
That's right.
So kinetic jaunt says I can move through the space of another creature. I assume I can't move through him if I use kinetic jaunt because I'm grappled.
Is it a teleportation ability?
No. It says if I can move through the space of another creature. But I'm grappled. I don't know.
Yeah, so grappled you can't. Yeah, because you can't benefit to any bonus to your speed from grappling. So you would not be able to bust through him unless you had like one of your teleportation abilities, or you use your ability to break free.
Yeah. Oh boy. I can take an action. I can replace one of my attacks with a cantrip, correct?
Yes. But if
Okay.
you take the action to break the grapple, you cannot. You cannot replace with a cantrip and break the grapple in one action.
But I can stay grappled, cantrip, and attack.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep the grapple because I want to fight.
Okay.
And I will do so. So rapier.
Okay. 11 misses.
Which is unfortunate. And then I will use a cantrip. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. I hope I do this right. Sword burst.
What does that do?
Sword burst.
On a succeed on dex save of 15.
Or take 12 force damage.
Okay.
Damn.
He takes no damage. You take no immediate reaction damage, but you do take, at the end of your turn, the 18 psychic damage from before.
So my turn ends and I take that damage.
Correct.
Okay. It's psychic.
Yep.
18? Alright.
Cool. And it is the Lost's turn. It can only grapple or embrace one creature at a time. But it has multiple arms, so it can try and stab with the other arms. So what it's going to do is it's going to try and move you half movement speed for it, which would be 15 feet, but it's going to be a contested athletics versus your athletics or acrobatics to see if you are able to be moved. So this is
Okay.
its of a
Oh.
17, 12. So,
Yes.
cool. So it doesn't move, but you're right there, and it's gonna just try and stab you 2 times with its arms. 1, and
Miss
then
and a miss.
2. Yeah, it goes to pierce down into you, and you are just able to barely move out the way. That was exactly your HP left too. Leaf, you see this thing trying to move, but Volin is just holding it back, so it can't get to you. But it is trying to take out Volin, and it's just not successful right now.
Being very concerned for Volan at this point, Little Leaf takes a deep breath, and she slowly puts her hand on her heart. Something that Volan's probably seen a couple times, but is not a big fan when she does it. And she just lets out just an ear-piercing scream of pain as she casts life transference on herself,
Oof.
dealing herself 27 damage, but healing Volin
50,
double that.
54.
54.
Gee-bus.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
I'm back to full.
Life transference.
I'm back to full.
And then con save for heroism, because I did technically take damage.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get probably what, a 19 or a 20 on it.
So it's
Oh, it's half of that, so it's 14.
half.
So 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am a warcaster, so I get to roll with advantage.
Cool. Get you that 14.
15.
Oh.
You got it. All right. So you feel as this life leaves Leaf and just crawls up the back of your legs and kind of goes through your spine right into your heart. You feel your heart get real tight and icy cold for a second, then just explode, and almost like a pump of adrenaline just fills your entire being, and you are good to go. You are ready. You know what
And
happens.
you just hear her in the distance just breathing really heavily and kind of muttering ow to herself.
You hear that in your head too.
Yeah, you hear it out loud, and in your head you're ow.
All right.
But yeah, I'm gonna take the Leaf is gonna go back against this wall.
Cool. Volan, you are feeling Gucci. Real good.
Alright, I got 4 temp HP back.
Yeah, you do. On top of your 54 HP you just got given.
Yeah,
Dude,
back to full.
Death clerics with that ability is just crazy because if they're they can't resist it anyway. But anyway, go on. You're still grappled.
Still grappled. I'm gonna try and swing at the rapier.
Okay. That hits.
And then the D4 of
Okay.
the right damage, which is radiant.
Mhm. So he's not resistant to the piercing damage because you're in light.
Because I'm in light.
Because you lit up your sword. And
Oh,
it's bright.
snap.
He's not resistant anymore.
That's nutty.
Mhm.
Okay.
But all that damage went through to full effect.
Okay. And seeing as he tried getting to Leaf
Mhm.
and tried to move me and I held my ground, I am then going to instead, as my bonus action, because I can do a cantrip, my blade, instead of on the second swing, instead of becoming wreath in flame, becomes wreath in this thunderous magic. As I a booming blade.
16 does hit for initially it is 14 plus 9, which is 23.
Oh, that's the rapier, not
Right.
the spell.
So 20. Yep. So 23, and then if he moves, it's 12 more damage.
Yes.
He's looking pretty hurt. Anything you want to do with your bonus action?
Well, my bonus action would've... No, I'm good.
Okay. So you, since you were grappled, still, at the end of your turn, you have to take this much psychic damage. So you have 29 psychic damage from ending your turn grappled.
Oops, let me add, guys, I forgot about the temp HP, hold on a second.
So basically it's 25 from whatever your max is. Because you got the 4 temp. All right. It's just gonna try and straight out just. Oh, I forgot to do its reaction. That's okay. I don't need to do all these things at once. I forgot. But for its attacks, it's gonna try and take 2 arm spikes at you since you're just wrecking its day. So
All right.
1, 2.
Miss and a miss.
All right. Leaf.
Okay, on a scale of like on death's door to moderately hurt, how does it look?
I'll say compared to what it was, it looks at about 15% HP.
Okay. Leaf is gonna point a finger in its direction and mutter a cantrip, and next to it is going to appear this. Okay, stop arguing with me. Show up on the map. Blah.
Ah! What is
A
that?
giant dove. That is her spiritual weapon.
Oh snap! All right, go ahead and
For a
roll that.
23 to hit.
Yeah, it does for 5
For
damage.
Does it
5
peck
points.
at him?
Actually, it beats it with the flower.
With a reaction, because I forgot to do this last time. When it takes damage while a creature is grappled, that creature takes this much psychic damage called Tightening Embrace. As it hits you, it tightens its arms around you, Volan, and you take that much psychic damage. 15.
15.
So you see as you hit it, it squeezes around Volan, and Volan just gets shocked in pain. And it's still standing.
She's gonna point a finger at it and very firmly say, "Bing bong."
Bing. Bong.
Bingathy bongathy.
Alright. Oh, it's got a -2. Jesus.
For
With-
bing bong.
With your 20 damage, you see it tighten up, and then it just releases Volan, and it falls to the ground, very dead. So, but yeah, that's combat against the last. And
The dove
scraping
like
seems to
floats
have
over you in a panic as Leaf runs up. And she will kind of like pick you up a little bit and tighten her grip on you and say, "It's okay. It's okay. Everything will be okay." And let's do a healing word at level 4. That's a bad healing word. Oh my god.
3 1s and a 3. Wow, that is a hard time. Rough stuff.
She's panicking.
Fair.
Just look at Leaf and say, "Thank you again, little Leaf. Once more, you've saved my life."
Mhm. Well, if you died, you couldn't go home to help your son. Can you stand?
Yes, I'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay. And she will help him to his feet, no matter how much he protests.
You no longer hear the scraping on the walls, as it seemed to be from this thing's multiple arms scraping on the walls.
It was not rats.
As
I have learned this.
All right, I see how it is. As I stand up, I'm gonna chug my psychic resistance potion.
Okay. So now you also have psychic resistance on top of necrotic resistance.
Yep.
Did you put your blade? Did you sheath your blade?
No, I am keeping that active.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say because
Yeah.
you lose your stuff if you sheath it.
Yeah, I am keeping that active.
How long is that active for?
Until he sheaths
Until
his
I-
blade.
Sheath my
Oh.
blade or
Yeah.
take a long rest.
Or die.
Okay.
Or die. Yeah, the Crimson Rite lasts while I hold the weapon or complete a rest of any kind.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna keep heroism up until the minute has passed. So DM, just let me know when a minute has passed, and then I will drop it.
All right. But yeah, you guys see. I'm gonna take this token off the map.
I'm also gonna chug one of these.
There you go. 16. Look at that. But yeah, you see down the hallway this way, there is two. There's a left and a right turn, and then the stairway you came up, and then this altar where you are. So where you guys want to go?
Did you find anything on the altar? The silence says no.
Did you mute yourself?
He's probably buying the book.
He can't. That's not. I don't think it's up yet. Because I'm trying to find it too, and it's. I don't even know where you can buy it because it's not on either of their websites right yet. You know. But he might also be doing that. So maybe trying. Or he muted himself and didn't realize he did it. So
Maybe.
let's see. Pa.
Bye!
Oh,
Oh.
his internet went out. That makes
Ordner.
sense. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a break while he fixes his internet.
Sure. All right.
All right.
Be back in a bit.
All right. Cool.
Go.
All right, we back, and we have our internets back, so that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Before my internet crapped out, what I was asking was, can I investigate this creature and see if it is of the same, reanimated, or if it's of different, stuff?
Yeah. You can. You can do that for sure.
I'd love to.
Go ahead.
Investigation?
Roll an investigation for me. It looks to be reanimated, but not necessarily the same stuff. Like it was. It looks like it was reanimated by something, but it's not. It's not undead like the others were.
Okay. Intriguing.
Hmm. But yeah.
Then I don't know if you heard Leaf, but Leaf wanted to know if there was anything on the pedestal.
Ah.
Just the stuff I described earlier, with it just being a stark white, and the symbology similar to the other altar. In that they were talking about things being hungry and removing all resources, life force, bones, and useful things from all creatures and moving them all onto a one single entity.
As he shares that with her, is that anything that she would recognize from religious passages at all?
Roll a religion check.
Religion. 9 or 13, your choice, I guess.
No, not really. You haven't heard of it. Nothing really similar.
Okay. She will fuss in her bag and offer a greater healing potion to Volin.
I will take it,
Here, bam.
and I will drink it. Just gonna kablamo.
Yes. Yes, kablam that.
Kablam! All up in your face.
You've had way better success with rolling for healing potions than healing spells.
I know.
All right, so
All right. Well,
you have before you that one staircase that you did not investigate yet, and then you have these hallways.
I'm going to. Yeah, now that we've kind of cleared this out, I will kind of grab Leaf once more and begin heading towards that doorway.
Okay. My assumption is you're just gonna push the door open when you get there.
Yeah. Is there a handle?
Mm-hmm.
Can I listen first?
It's stone. You can't hear anything through it.
What does the stone tell me?
That it's cold.
name's Jerry.
That it's cold
That
on your
it's
face.
cold.
Well, let me ask
Right.
you this: are you proficient in masonry tools?
No.
Then it's cold on your face.
All right, I'll open it.
All right. So as you open the door, kablam!
An eyeball.
It looks like an eyeball. You're right, but it is actually. I'm gonna turn your light off just for a second because I want you to see something.
How cool it is.
It's the same type of color, but just know you still have that 20-foot radius light around you.
Uh,
As you walk into this room, you see this large blue, strange, pulsating gem that is similar in the way that it pulsates as to what the lighthouse was upstairs. It's just not purple. It's like this light whitish blue color. It just kind of pulsates rhythmically.
can I, walk in and maybe get a bit closer and do an Arcana check on it?
Absolutely.
Fey Fiend Undead?
Nope.
Oh,
It looks like
ouch.
a magically pulsating rock in the middle of the room.
I've already used my goggles.
Mm-hmm. You definitely know it's magical. That's about all you can get from it.
Little Leaf will step forward
Mm-hmm.
and she will hold out her tiny little hand, and her whole form starts to glow as she uses her furball magic to detect magic.
Okay. Yeah. So this orb is a magical orb of abjuration, very similar to the one that you found at the lighthouse gem to open your way to down here. And it does seem like it is unlockable or dispellable, but that's what you get from it.
Is there a doorway over here? I just see it cut
Yes,
off.
there is now that you look over there. I mean, I'm just gonna say you go open it, but yes, that is the doorway.
Okay, and it looks like it just leads to the pathway that leads back to the big room.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
That's where the 5-armed hugger man was hanging outside of. Had you
Got
come
it.
in here first, he would have bust through the door.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. You know. But yeah. So, and all these are pillars that are around you, not like fire or
Anything
anything.
written?
It's just, no, they're just stark white pillars.
there's this gem in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously from the... Oh, no, hold on. Are we directly... Okay, how do I phrase this? Is this room positioned, which I assume not, is this room positioned directly under the lighthouse, or is it positioned under, like, a portion of the island? Can I tell that from, how far we walked? Because I know we walked down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the layout of the room, like, is this underground passage, specifically this room, directly underneath the lighthouse? Or, you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah. So the staircase that you came down was pretty much directly under the lighthouse, in the way that it opened up. This, however, is off a little bit, not under the lighthouse, but under like that main grassy area out front of the lighthouse.
Okay, so it's not like this is connected to, or in my mind at least, this isn't like directly underneath the other gem. They're not like connected or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. It really does look like an eyeball
It does.
with like spider webs around it. I don't like those sounds.
Hey man, they're just sounds. So you do know, like I said, that it is a abjuration-based magical aura around this pulsating gem. So,
I kind of just look down at Leaf and say, "What do you make of this, little Leaf?"
Abjuration magic. A lot like what we saw upstairs. There's no lock, though, right?
there's no arcane lock on this, no.
Okay. No lock, though. Maybe this one's powering that one?
Hmm. Maybe. There's no lock. But it looks dispellable.
Yes.
What do you think?
I don't know. I do think turning it off isn't a good idea. Because if this one turns off the one above, ships could get hurt. If this one doesn't turn off what's above, it may let the singing come to the island, which could be bad.
Let us come back to this later. Let us continue down these passageways and continue our exploration.
Okay.
I
And she will
will
take your coat, jacket again.
begin walking back this way.
Has
As
it been over a minute or is it
Yeah.
still?
Yeah, it's been over
Okay.
a minute.
Let me turn off the thing. Blip. And then. Hey blip. Hey blip.
Blip.
Hey blip. Hey blip. 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 Oh, thank you for changing the position of the bar.
Just for you.
Thank you. I just wish they would let the little dots be at the bottom too, just because it just looks so much better.
Yeah.
And now, as we get up here, we can see that the doorway connects there.
Yep.
Okay. Do I hear any sounds of critters as we begin walking forward?
No, you guys don't.
Okay. Doorway.
There is. Well, let me click on it. There it is. It's not locked. You can push that one open too.
Oh, okay. Well, I will, and I will walk in, and there's an axe.
It's it's another stark white altar that describes things similar to what you have seen on the other altars so far. This one, however, there's no axe on top of it. It actually has bones on top of it. Some of the bones that you imagine came from the boneless that you have fought earlier.
Oh, interesting, interesting. The boneless is bones.
Some of them, not enough that it seems like it's 5 to 6 boneless, but there's at least 3 skulls and 3 bodies worth of bones. And this, similar to the other altar you saw, is one solid structure and not openable.
Can I detect, maybe with an Arcana check, to see if I can feel any residual magics from the bones?
Sure. Roll an Arcana check.
Is it undead?
They're just bones. No, it's not undead. Because
They're dead, but they're not undead.
They are dead. With these bones, you feel a little residual magic, but not enough that you feel like you would be able to get anything informative from them.
Okay. Okay. I will make note and begin walking out.
Okay.
While he's in there, do I hear anything in the passageways?
Nope.
Nope.
Just still.
Taking advantage of the quiet.
Just gonna, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
Squeeze me. Coming through. Thanks. Thanks, bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, bye.
Just making your way up through here, up to this next. You got one more tunnel right there. See?
Making my way downtown.
Walking fast.
And as you push that door open, you see this just seems to be an empty room. There are the remainder of the bones in this room, however.
I would like to investigate this room.
Sure.
And the boneses.
Give me your secrets.
And the boneses. Is bones. Room of bones.
So
Does
3 altars. Huh?
Does a passive perception of 20 tell us anything different about the room?
It's roomy. But no.
This is very spacious.
I don't know if it matters, but my passive investigation is higher than that investigation roll.
No, there's nothing in this room. It's just bones. Bones and walls. Bricks and bones.
So we have 3 altars speaking of taking life and things from people and giving it to another creature. We have an eyeball gem, and then we have the lighthouse gem, and we also have sirens calling to people, or what I assume to be sirens calling to people, topside.
That is information.
Huh. I mean, my only thoughts right now are dispelling the eyeball or dispelling the lighthouse. But dispelling the lighthouse would get a bunch of people killed as we crash a bunch of ships. So maybe we dispel the eyeball, because that's not synced up, or at least I don't think it's synced up with the lighthouse. It's different position.
It's different position, it's a different color. The only thing that's really similar is the warbling, and that you can imagine is just when something very, very large puts off a lot of magical energy at one time, it just makes it's like white noise sound.
Okay, then I will kind of walk back out and basically um, say to Leaf, oh boy, hold on. No, still thinking. Doing a lot of thinking right now. My brain's overdrive.
Hmm. It's a wizard,
Uh,
man. Gotta think brain.
think brain.
Yeah.
Leaf's little face like scrunches up. She's also thinking very hard.
Contemplating the universe as 10-year-olds do.
Yeah. Literal child.
Yep.
You see the gears going. Her ears are twitching. Very focused.
Oh my god, all of the music just cut out for a second. I thought I lost internet again. It was just the music restarting.
You know, I wonder something. Let's see.
What do you wonder?
Do I have another spooky one sitting around here somewhere?
Spoopy!
Spooky musics.
Spoopy musics.
Probably not. Nope.
Okay, well, listen, I'm gonna be real. My only thought process right now is we dispel the eyeball. Um,
This is the thought process you're gonna get, but I'm gonna say it from Leaf's perspective because I think it's adorable. Um, well then, wasn't our job just to come here and discover the underground passageway?
huh. That
Right?
wasn't it?
Your job was to see if there's anything down here and bring back as much information as possible.
We we don't need to really do anything with it, but we can tell tales of caution for those who want to come. You took the book, and if we run into him, I have snacks.
Very,
Technically, it was your snack that you made for me. I didn't eat it all. Please don't be mad. But I thought if we ran into him, he may be hungry.
you are very kind and caring, little Leaf, and very smart at that. I believe you are correct. We have discovered this passage as asked. We have gotten information. We can let others who are more trained at this uncover the deeper mystery.
I think that's a good idea, but I do think we should put a box over this hole so that other people don't accidentally find it and maybe cause more problems than we would have.
That is smart, and I do agree. And I think it's time we head up then. We have uncovered what we came here to uncover.
Okay. And she will take his coat jacket again.
Going back upstairs.
Going all the way back upstairs.
Fair. You notice as you walk down this way that the
I don't know if you actually want me to move my token, but
I do. Which way you go?
we're walking back.
Brr.
I'm not going through that eyeball room. I'm going the way
Brr,
I
brr,
know.
Okay.
Boop.
Blip.
brr,
Blop.
brr. Ah!
Or oh. Blip. Blop. Blip.
Bloop.
Blop.
You notice as you enter that room, the light has
Uh-oh.
changed color.
The light's a different color.
Yep. It
What
went
color is
from
it?
this like bright, stark white to this light pink that's getting to be like a darker coloration moving towards the red spectrum.
You know, maybe we just leave anyways. You know, let's just leave. You know.
My detect magic is a concentration for up to 10 minutes. What do I sense in this room
Oh.
as I step in and the light has changed?
You sense in this room
For concentration.
that the magic has changed from. So as you basically were like right here, I'm gonna say because I think it's interesting that you can still feel the magic from the rooms because you left the doors open, so the magic kind of bleeds through. So you can feel the magic from the eyeball room, and it was when you were there the first time abjuration. That's what it's felt like. And this room didn't have any magic feeling to it. No like true recognizable school of magic. This now pink room, but as you walk back down this way, the light has changed from white to pink towards that spectrum of red, and now this room has this sense of conjuration magic kind of permeating the air, and the abjuration magic that you were feeling coming from the quote eyeball room has also changed to conjuration magic.
Huh.
The link is still up. It hasn't been over an hour, right?
No, it has not.
Okay. In the link, you hear a very small voice, like she's whispering in their minds, uh, uh, conjuration magic, and she kind of like points with her free hand towards the pink flames, and then points back towards the eyeball room. It's changed.
Hmm. With the link, will respond.
The light is continuing to change to that more red hue as you can see.
I will respond with, well, little leaf, what do you think? Do we continue out of here, or do we investigate further?
It's hard to say. Um, if there is something dangerous down here, I don't know if turning off the blue light, or she kind of like looks at the flame, pinkish red light, is a good idea. Um, Nothing really seems to, and she gets real quiet. With my passive of 20, do I hear any additional sounds in the system that we're in now?
You do, but just so you can pull out a specific sound, roll me a perception at double advantage.
There is there's such a thing?
There is.
Yeah,
In
there
D&D
is.
Beyond, you can switch it to double advantage. It basically you roll 3, and you get the highest.
Uh,
hmm Or you can just roll advantage and add 10 from your passive being so
ooh,
high.
super advantage? Is
There you
that
go.
it?
That's it right there.
Eh.
Super advantage.
Natural 20.
There you go. See, look at that. It gave you. There you go. It rolls a single one and then 2 ones. So, with your passive of 20 and your natural 20 plus 5, you hear a thudding. It sounds like it is on, like someone pounding on stone, like they're trying to hammer at a wall, but it's very slow and just,
Do I hear direction?
you do. It's coming from over here. You hear it from inside of the altar, beneath the lid that can be moved. You hear it thudding with a thud, a thud, a thud, and then a scrape. And then again, a thud, a thud, a thud, and a scrape. And you can barely pick up on it, but you start to hear the low, like, groaning of something from that same spot.
Uh, Leaf will point at the altar and say, I think whatever is here, or at least whatever they were trying to get here, is now here. And it's in there. And it's coming.
Does it sound like it's gonna bust its way out on its own?
As you turn your attention to where Leaf points out, you start to hear what could very possibly be rocks beginning to crack. So yes, it does sound like it's trying very hard.
Okay. I am going to, with my rapier out, just begin advancing upwards
Okay.
and telling Leaf to stay back. And I will, real quick, drink another normal potion of healing.
All right, I'm gonna put your bright light back on too. Ooh, that's really bright. I'm just
Gauging
gonna say you have it on because it's really bright.
gauging how gauging how far it, because I rolled a natural 20 is the only reason I'm asking the question the way that I am. Gauging on how well I heard it, do I have any distinction of how long it'll take before it breaks the surface?
It's probably gonna break the surface within the next 10 to 15 seconds if it continues, because as you're listing and Volan's getting closer, the repetition of the three thuds and a scrape is getting faster. It's like
Okay,
it's picking up speed and doing it more and more.
okay, that stops initially what I was currently thinking of doing. Um, uh, Leaf shouts. Leaf mentally calls to him. We have about 10 seconds left. What? Do you want me to go try to shut off the thing, or do you want me to stay here?
I will respond with, um, go and try and dispel whatever magic holds that crystal. I will keep this busy and keep you safe. And I will, upon the tomb being broken, I would like to hold a mirror image and cast that when it breaks open.
Okay. All right.
I
So Leaf, run up to where you're going.
I would like to get off one spell before I take off running if I can.
What spell is that?
I would like to cast Aid.
All right. Do it.
I would like to cast Aid at 5th level.
Oh, damn. All right. So it's you and Volan are both gonna get 20 HP.
So 20 to the max and
20.
And then 20 to the current,
So
yeah.
you heal 20. Yep.
So heal 20 and then add 20 to your max.
Look at Leaf popping up in the 3 digits.
okay, so
Like a barbarian. Tiny and full of inflict wound rage damage. Alright, so you.
oops, that's not what I wanted.
Oh no. So you throw up an aid to both of you, and this just
Oh, that's not right.
healing, this like healing magic kind of encompasses you both, and you
I'm
feel
at
just this bolstering.
94?
Yep, 94. There you
Wait,
go.
that's
Ooh. What was I at? What was I at? Like 71 health?
Yeah.
71.
So yep. So your
There we
heal
go.
up to 91 of 94. There you go.
Okay. Whew.
Cool.
yeah. So Leaf is gonna go bup 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 bup.
All right. So you get there, and you're gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Yep.
What level are you casting Dispel Magic?
4th level.
I need you to roll me a DC 16 check. So it's a D20 plus your spell casting modifier to see if you can dispel this, because it is higher than that. As you run up and you throw aid on yourself and Volan very quickly, and you frantically sprint over, knowing there's not a lot of time. You weave together your dispelling threads, and they kind of encompass around this eye of magic, and the magic which has changed from abjuration to conjuration is dispelled, and you see that this magical aura in of itself completely turns out. And as you dispel it, you hear the quick casting of magic, and the lid doesn't shatter, but you do hear the release of like a steam and a smoke. As I will tell you that your dispel magic saved the lid of the altar from being completely destroyed and destroying everything that's inside, other than the monster. So there is that. Bavolin, you cast your mirror image, so you can put 3 copies of you on there, and
So it does open up.
It does open up, but it slides off to the side and falls safely. And you see that for a split second, it looks, you got a sense of the conjuration magic that has been dispelled, but you got a quick sense of evocation magic that was inside of it also was dispelled. So whatever magical enhancement was on the inside of this that would have destroyed everything inside is gone. So you see this monster, and it's gonna pop out and look over at you, and it's gonna turn to attack if it's its turn. Maybe.
Well, as we were literally talking about this thing earlier, I'm glad we are fighting it alone.
Damn it. Oh, 14.
Literally. Was this always here, or is it because we were talking about it?
It was always there.
Okay.
Look at you reading the room. Well done, Pi. Yes. All right, you lonely little jerk.
It was always there, and if you don't believe me, you can always just look at the posting when I put it up. It was always in the square to the right of it. I just moved it over because I liked looking at the picture that was on top of the tomb.
Would you like to share it in the chat?
Oh, what it is? Yeah,
the lonely.
It is this bad boy. It looks like this.
Aww.
He's very
Yeah.
lonely.
He looks
And
like he
it's-
needs a snack.
He's very
It's-
lonely.
It's violent when it's in packs.
All right, and it is your turn first, Volan. Your held action was to cast mirror image upon the tomb lid coming off, and it came off.
Yes.
And this thing stands up out of it and looks at the now 4 of you. So,
And that's a held action, so I still have my full turn.
yep, it is your full turn because it's basically your reaction, but since you're first, you have your reaction back now. So,
Okay, so I'm going to Blade Song.
okay, good call.
I'm going to Blade Song.
Yep.
Oh, God. I have a big spell that I could use. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to grab my rapier, still ignited with the radiant damage. I'm going to point it towards this creature. And I'm going to cast Rolothim's Psychic Lance.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, Snapples.
That's a lot of damage. Alright. Let's see. With its -2, guys. You hear
28 psychic damage,
You
and he's
hear-
incapacitated.
You hear this groan, and it just kind of looks at you.
Oh, it's a good spell.
Yep. And it has, yeah, it takes damage, and it's incapacitated until the start of your next turn.
Yeah.
So basically, you cast the spell, and I'll say that if you want, as a free action or whatever you want to do it as, you can tell Leaf your situation as it stands.
I will. Yes.
Cool.
And seeing as it's kind of dazed and incapacitated, and not a threat until my next turn, me and my images will walk into melee and getting ready for our next assault.
Okay. Leaf, you got a quick mental update that this thing was, that the lid came off, and it stood up, but it's currently incapacitated in place, and you got a couple seconds. So.
Okay. There would be a, if I can, free response of.
Yeah.
Stuff has been dispelled. Magic kind of shifted. Glad I'm on my way back. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Action dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And
All right.
I am here.
Cool. Do you have anything you want to do with your bonus action?
Sure. I mean, if we're gonna end this day, let's end it right. We are going to cast a full spiritual weapon.
Nice. Nice. And you get to immediately attack with it too.
I do. It's gonna be a dove bonk.
Devonk.
Dove bonk. Sure schmack.
I put an extra sheet in there just assuming you were gonna have a spiritual weapon because you're a cleric. So,
Yep.
All right.
And I use it. Dove bonk.
Yes, you did. Do it a smackaroonie.
Smackles.
That
And-
misses, unfortunately.
Is it at advantage because it's incapacitated though?
Maybe. Let me see. I think that's one of the things. It cannot take actions or reactions. It is not stunned, so it does not get advantage on the attacks. It's just incapacitated.
Oh, okay. That will be the end of my turn.
The Lonely is just standing there, kind of looking, like kind of frozen in time for a second, almost like it has a migraine from hell. And then Bolin, it comes back to turn, it shakes it off, and it just looks very peeved at you.
Alright, we're going all in. I'm going to use my Blood Curse of the Marked, and I'm going to amplify it.
Ooh, snap.
So until the end of my next turn, whenever I deal right damage, I deal an additional Hemocraft die to it, and my next attack roll I make against target is advantage.
Okay.
And I take a d4 worth of damage.
Ooh, snapple. Now the question: do you do a
Now the
cantrip
question.
attack or just a regular attack?
Would the Booming Blade also be advantage?
Yeah, it would just because basically Booming Blade just adds on to your rapier attack. It's just
Okay.
part of the melee. So you would roll your rapier at advantage with your Booming Blade. So that attack is at advantage, yeah.
So I will do that then. I'm going to Booming Blade
Okay.
for the first one.
All right, at advantage. 27 certainly hits.
And then the 2 Hemocraft dies.
Okay, so there's 16 right there.
So 2d4 radiant damage because of
16, so
d4 and a
20.
d4.
Okay, so plus 20.
And then this next attack, not advantage, is a normal rapier.
19 for certainly hits.
And then the d4 of damage.
It's 2d4 because you get that extra hemocrat, right? Until the end of your turn.
Let me reread it. I would post it in chat, but clicking on blood curses, I'd post literally every single blood curse.
Yeah, not that laugh.
Blood curse of the marked. As a bonus action
Until
until
the
the end of your turn. Yeah.
Yep. So, you
So
get the
another
extra
D4.
D4. There you go. So 8 plus 12 plus 15 more
That
damage.
is my flurry.
Okay. And it is no longer messed up. All right. Cool. All right, Leaf, it is your turn.
Little Leaf claps her hands together, and as she pulls them apart, you see little tiny white doves fly out, and they're little sparkly and incorporeal, and they fly over to Valen, and he's probably used to this by now, and they start dancing around him, creating like a beautiful swirling almost tornado with little tiny golden leaves falling off of them. And she claps her hands again, and the same thing happens to her. And she has activated her emboldening bond.
Oh, snap.
Oh, Snapple!
So you have a D4 to once per turn. You can roll a D4 and add it to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Yo, that's crazy.
It's blessed for a whole bunch of people at once.
But bless can be used on multiple rolls. I believe emboldening bond can only be used on one roll, but it's still a really good thing to have.
Sure.
So you now have that on you. That is her action. As her bonus action, her dove's gonna take an attack.
Fun fact, if you stack Emboldening Bond with Bless, you could do 2d4.
Yep.
Because they are stackable.
27
That hits.
for 10 points of force damage from the dove.
For sure. Alright, that your turn?
That'll be the end of my turn, yes.
Okay, so this Lonely looks up at you. I need a wisdom saving throw from you, Volan.
Say that again, you cut out.
Wisdom saving throw, please, from you.
Wisdom saving throw. Is this a spell?
No. So, you pass and you start to feel this, like, almost like your brain is being sucked out your nose, but then you just kind of shake it off. And then it's going to try and stab you with its harpoon arm.
Roll that d20.
Well, it's got to hit you first, and then you roll against it. So, and because of where it is and where stuff is, it gets to make an attack at advantage. So 17?
17.
I don't think that's going to hit you.
Yes, it does.
With your blade song?
Oh, no, it don't. I forgot I was blade singing.
Alright. And it's going to go ahead and try and make one more harpoon arm attack at you.
That
26.
does.
Alright, so now you roll a d20, and if
It's me.
it hits you, so you are grappled, and you take 21 piercing damage, and... oh, you can make that... I don't...
He takes none of that piercing damage because her protective bond activates, which posts apparently 3 times for some ungodly reason. And she teleports. I gotta.
Within 5, you gotta
stop
go pretty
being
much...
a jerk.
Yeah.
There we go. She teleports right there, and instead of you taking the damage, she takes all of the damage. So she's gonna take 21 piercing damage in place of you.
Okay.
And that is her reaction.
And because its attack has a 60-foot reach, you are grappled, and immediately it's going to use its Sorrowful Embrace ability, and I need you to make, for me, a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, or take 15 psychic damage, reduced to half if you pass.
Who?
You.
Okay, you cut out, so
good.
I wasn't sure.
You're good.
And wisdom?
Wisdom 15. Alright, so you
Natural
passed it.
20 for 29.
Cool. So, you passed. You take half the damage, and it's going to immediately pull you to right here. So you're grappled, and you're right there.
Okay.
Volan, you saw Leaf appear beside you, take the damage from this long hand with a like blade through it, and then just get ripped from your grasp, from your protection, to immediately beside this big lonely being.
Okay, I don't like that.
What do you do?
I Ralothim's Psychic Lance.
Okay. So it is incapacitated, but you are still grappled. So
Yeah. But it's
there's that.
incapacitated
And it takes
and
13.
13 psychic damage.
Yes, yes.
And that is me.
Okay. Leaf, you are grappled by this big weird arm thing, and this guy's just kind of looking at you, just looking deep into your eyes, but not doing anything.
You're exactly correct. So I have a question. Does a touch spell automatically hit?
You would have to still roll because it. Let me double check because he's just incapacitated, which means no actions, no reactions. It's not an auto hit or an auto crit.
But I am grappled. He is holding on to me.
You are grappled, but you still have to hit him though. You still have to roll to attack to hit because you can still miss.
If he was stunned, it'd be different.
Yeah, if he was stunned, it would be an auto crit if you hit, I think. But yeah, you still have to roll to. You don't have advantage. That's what stun gives you. Incapacitated doesn't give you the advantage. Stun does.
Okay. We're gonna try something a little different.
Do it. Let me make. I want to check something here. So no, I can't do that. All right, cool. Yes.
You know, just because I'm curious to see if that would happen, please roll me a Wisdom saving throw DC 16.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What would cast that to make me roll wisdom? 6.
Bestow curse.
Oh no.
Oh.
What's the curse?
Cause you
do?
suck. We're gonna do wild curse. The target must make a Wisdom saving throw at the start of each of its turns. If it fails, it waits the action on its turn, doing nothing.
Rude. While curse targets disadvantage on
Here,
ability,
prepare
checks, disadvantage on attack rolls against you. While curse, let's make wisdom save and start turn it fails. Does nothing. Bleh, dumb. But anyway, remove curse from his effects. You may choose to alternate curse effects. Huh. All right. And you did.
Oh, you can choose your own curse effects. You can make
Yeah.
up your own. Wow.
All right. So it's cursed. But cool. Is that your turn?
That is the and bonus action or Kershmacka.
Go for it. Do a Kershmack.
Kershmack. Where's my level 4 Schmacker Schmack? There it is. Hip here. That's a natural one.
It does not hit. Unfortunately, it goes to bite down and it just kind of bites in, but it doesn't really pierce the flesh of this lonely man. It just kind of stands there. It can't do anything on its turn because it's incapacitated, so there's no save for me to roll because it has no turn right now. Volan, it's your turn.
Alright, because I'm a Ghost Slayer, I have 2 uses of my Blood Maledict, which would mean I could use 2 of my curse. I could use the curse again.
Correct.
So I will Blood Curse the Marked it, and I assume being able to use it again would let me amplify it twice.
Correct.
So I will take 4 again. As I amplify,
Blood curse.
I amplify Blood Curse the Marked, and I will take advantage on another Booming Blade.
Nice.
And then 2d4.
Also, remember that psychic damage from earlier was halved because you're psychic damaged out. So, let me do all this math here.
Yeah, I'll hold to roll my next attack.
Plus, yeah, you're good. I gotta do math here. Plus 7.
He's already got the crit at max.
What's the 3d8 from? Just so I'm remembering. You have a 2d8 and a 3d8. Because you have a 2d8 and then a 3d8. Oh, you did Booming Blade. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Plus 7 plus. Oops, that's a 1. Hold on. Hold, please. 15 plus 8 plus 7.
Please
Plus
hold.
16 plus 2 plus 8. $5 5, 6 damage. Okay, this thing is looking really fucked up, but
All right.
still standing.
And here comes the next attack.
No, it's a save every turn, Bestow Curse, to see if I get to do something. That's what
Yeah.
I was talking about that save for. But it didn't matter because I didn't have a turn anyway. So, yeah.
So next attack, no advantage because that was on the booming blade. Bloom. And then 2d4 again.
Describe
gosh.
to me how you want to make this lonely man permanently even more lonely.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead sis.
You just did 69 damage, more than that.
Nice.
You did 69,
Nice.
71 damage in a turn as a blade singing wizard blood hunter. Come on. Yes, it's dead.
Well, with the fury of an angry father, essentially, not only am I cutting into it, but I like to imagine for the split second, the magic of my mirror images all like come to form and slash into it with me, like dealing physical damage with me, and they're just all cutting into this thing, carving bits and pieces out as the radiant energy from the rapier just like burn it.
100%. That is. You see, as you're being held by this 60-foot long arm with a hook on it, Leaf, you don't often see Volan lose their temper or get angry. But this is one of those rare times where that exact thing happens. He, with a rage you've maybe seen once before, but you're not normally this close in combat. You're normally at the back, keeping him alive, which you're very good at. He tears into this man, slicing himself open, filling him with radiant blood explosions and thunder damage, all images of him all just stabbing and slashing away at this lonely creature who is now a pile of meat on the floor at your feet. And he said, "Oh no, I need to put the music back on. It stopped on me. Play." But yes, as the now even more lonely creature falls to the side, you guys can look inside of the thing that he clambered out of. And you see inside of here, there is many a different coin, many a different item. You see the thing that grabs your interest the most, however, is a one single scroll amongst this whole loot of items that are down there. And if you open the scroll, you see that it talks about resurrecting a being, a deity maybe. You're not quite sure. The wording's it's very old and very nonsensical in a way, almost like the writings of a madman. But it talks about bringing this creature from the dead back to life, who will turn all those around him into undead, or at least strip their life force from them to continue to bolster himself. This kind of leans into all of the writings that you have seen thus far. And it goes on to describe this creature as being that of stark white from head to toe, with black, endless voids for eyes. And when they open their mouth to speak, the life energies of everything around it just are absorbed into this creature, but this creature never changes its shape or its coloration or its size. And that's how it continues to desecrate all land that it surrounds. How it can desecrate humanity if given the opportunity to. And it will be sending forth creatures to kind of pave the way for it. And you would imagine that whatever chamber, tomb you're in right now, whoever brought these creatures to this place, whoever brought them back to their undeath, probably was looking for this scroll, and the creature in this specific tomb was the one protecting it. As this gives more of that information into what these altars were all speaking about. So
And this is on the scroll?
this is on the scroll that you found in there, yes. But there's also a bunch of treasure in there.
What kind of treasure?
Well, I need you to roll between the two of you 4 D100s, and I'll tell you. Well, hold on. We'll do it this way. D100 and 3, D100, 2 D10s, and a D6. No.
What do you want to take?
Hold
Little
on.
leaf?
I'm losing my damn mind. We'll do it this way. Alright, we'll go Volan, then Leaf, then Volan, then Leaf. So Volan, roll me 4 D6, Volan.
4d6.
Here we go. Yes.
2, 2, 4, 3.
Alright, so in the first batch of coins you managed to count out, I like to imagine that Leaf is in charge of coin counting because they're very fun to play with. So you first find, somebody write this in chat because I'm going to forget, 1,100 copper pieces.
Good lord.
Leaf, roll me 66.
Got it. 66.
What is 1,100? 1,100?
Yeah.
1,100 copper?
Uh-huh.
Copper.
Okay. Then 1,300 silver pieces.
God, it rolled twice again. Jesus. So there was
Um,
24 was the first one, and then it rolled a 13.
Okay. And then give me ba 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 doop boop ba da ba doop. Where are we at here? I'm losing my damn mind. Then Volan, give me 4d6.
4d6.
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 4, 1.
1,400 copper pieces. And then give me 3d6. Leaf.
3d6. 1, 2, 3.
And then 550 platinum pieces. That should actually be not 1,400, but 140 gold pieces. So, just so you know, I did the
What
math.
now?
It was 140 gold pieces. Now it's 1,400. So, big difference.
Okay, so hold on. 1,100 copper.
1,300 silver.
Yeah.
140 gold pieces.
Okay.
And 15 platinum pieces.
15 platinum. I heard 1,500.
No, that was the wrong number.
15. Okay, so boom.
Mm-hmm. And then let me get to the right table that I
Well,
want.
Little Leaf can figure out the math of splitting all that, because I ain't gonna do that, because I ain't gonna be no help with that.
Let me look at what I'm looking for. And then roll me a D100 as well. Anyone?
Blammo.
55? Cool, let me see if this is the one I want. Now we're gonna go on. Here we are. Alright, cool. And so then, here's where you guys get to find out your treasure. You each roll me 2 D100s.
Each roll you 2 D100s.
Correct. You each get 2 things. Alright, so,
Hey, we share 91.
well, Leaf rolled 2, so I'll take the first one for Leaf. So 79 and a 2. So Leaf, you get a potion of greater healing and dust of sneezing and choking. And then Volan, you also get a potion of greater healing, as well as a lantern of revealing.
Oh,
Ooh.
Snapples!
Yep, and it will basically reveal to you all this stuff. So, but yes, you both get a potion of greater healing, and then Leaf, you get dust of sneezing and choking, which is really funny. Which I don't know if you've ever seen what it does, but it does probably exactly what it says. This stuff.
It's funny.
Yes, you can throw a handful into the air to incapacitate people. But you guys acquire the additional information that is within this coffin, this tomb. And then as you clear it out, you see that just like the outside, the inside is stark white, as of that of like bleached skeletal bones. And you guys eventually, I assume you don't have anything else you want to do in this underground area.
No.
All right, you
Nope.
guys make your way back upstairs, back outside to the lighthouse, and you make your way back to the dock where your rowboat is set up.
With the door,
With-
With the
apparently.
door.
with
The
the
door
door.
comes with us.
Um,
It's a rule.
and you can
We
either
do cover up the door with a box or
Yes,
something.
right. And you can either camp on the island and hopefully not miss your boat back the next day, or you can row out to your boat, which is only like 20-minute row, and stay on your boat overnight. That way you don't miss going back to shore the next day.
I think row
That
your
one,
boat.
please.
Okay.
That one, please.
So you guys row your boat all the way back to your big ship. Hmm.
Leaf would want to do something before they roll back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Leaf would go to like here,
Hmm.
and she would leave the little bag of trail mix
Hmm.
on the shoreline, and with her finger, uh she will write a note that says, to those who find this, do not go hungry, and then she would run back to the boat.
All right.
And as we're rowing back to the boat, as I'm sure as I'm rowing back to the boat, and it's just kind of the two of us, and this music is perfect for it. Volan would look at Leaf and say, "You know, whenever we find the cure for my son, me and my family would be honored to have you join us, if you ever consider."
She
I'm
kind of gets a little sad.
I'm
As
sure
you
my
say that.
son would make a great friend.
Like you have your mission to save your son. I have my mission to figure out what happened to my and when that time comes and that has been fulfilled as well, I could use a new family.
Volan, still rowing, will say, "Well, I am a man of my word, little Leaf, and just as I will not leave my son to this sickness, I promise you, I will not leave you to do this alone. We will find out together, and when we find out both of our searches, it would be an honor to have you join me back in my home and be a part of my family."
She just kind of gives a little nod and just a very childlike, happy smile, and then just turns and kind of stares off into the distance as they're rowing.
As you guys row, make your way back to the boat, and get hoisted back up in, for the remainder of the night. You guys find yourselves in your your cabin beneath the ship. Uh, as you are climbing onto the ship for the night, you do kind of push your ear up to the wind one last time before going below deck, and you swear you hear the faint whisper of a song, but it's gone as quickly as it's noticed. And you guys tuck in for the evening, kind of thinking over the day that you've had, the information that you've gathered, the creatures that you faced. And the next morning, your ship will turn and sail back into Moreau, hoping that weather is good for the short sail back. And when next we return, you guys will benefit from a complete long rest, and we will make our way into the next step of this adventure within Tales of Mateia. But until then, which is probably next week, we will just wait and see what happens. So until next time, we're all good.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Great game, as always, Alex. Thank you so much. And Pi, wonderful. Glad to see two characters that have a not hostile relationship with each other.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how you guys all act when all four of you intersect together. That'll be fun. So, but all right, until next time.
I've been muted this entire time.
Yeah.
I said what I was trying to say was yes, I sure do love this dynamic between us two. Everything before that was said, right? When we were rowing the boat,
Oh
I
yeah.
said everything.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. But this definitely is an interesting dynamic. And then when you brought up what might happen when we intersect the other two, I immediately said, "I'm gonna kill them for getting your leaf."
Well,
No one's gonna get near leaf.
But until then, we will see what happens. So,
I also asked if we got a long rest on the boat.
yeah, I said that you would wake
Okay.
up with a long rest. Yeah.
Okay, Gucci.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Well, until then, I'm
Alright.
gonna end the recording now.
Awesome. And
Alright.
I'm gonna say my spiel. So everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Okay,
Bye, YouTube.
Bye YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.
Mhm.
Ye-